Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's Left of Us D&D podcast. We all gather together and play basements and big lizards, dunguns and dungaroos, if you will.
I won't.
if you're nasty. Welcome. Oh my God, we turned super chats on it immediately. Thank you, everybody. There was some very slight amount of technical details behind the scenes.
Sorry, did
I
you
love
say
that
tentacle?
Jay just never turned on super chats, and then I had to go do it.
I turned on the modifications. I thought it was fine.
Jay, it did sound like you said tentacle difficulties.
And
Oh, I don't doubt he has those too.
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't have difficulties with tentacles? Let's spin my chair around backwards for a second. Hey, kid. No, wait, I'm already getting sidetracked. Welcome to What's Left of Us. We're here. We're here, and we're gonna keep going. Everybody, this is an actual play podcast where we play literally off the cuff, live, right in front of you all. And so, in addition to anything of that, there might be some themes or something of the sort going on in our story. That
there will be themes.
There
going
will
on in
be
the story.
themes.
There will be
guarantee
motifs.
I mostly do writing with themes, motifs, and cliches. So take that under advisement. Everyone here at the table has more or less told me that they are fine with whatever I'm going to throw at them, and or they have the ability to tell me live that they do not wish to have this thing happen to them. But of course, none of you in chat do. So if something were to happen where you don't like what you're seeing, please feel free to step away. Don't stick around just because you feel the need to it. Self-care and all that stuff. Zoe, who is currently missing today, sending her love via super chat. Thank you very much. Everyone say hi to Zoe. She is busy working away.
Hi to Zoe.
Editing hole.
When you say missing today,
Mm-hmm.
you mean that she's not here today, not that she's She's
I mean,
not
she
in
might
trouble.
she might also be pining for today. I'm not sure. And yes, she could also be missing. Do we need to put you on a milk jug, Zoe? Do we need to? Am I?
Blink twice if you need help in the chat, Zoe.
No, it's okay. She's stuck in a hole. Regardless, we are going to be continuing our story. And afterwards, we are going to be having a table talk session. Well, it's really couch talk, where we get on a digital couch and we answer all of your questions. So hold any questions about this episode or previous episodes until that point, and we will answer all of them then. In the meantime, however, if you have any other functional questions, our mods in chat, pronouns in my bio, and Slyfox. If Slyfox is around, I don't think I've seen her yet.
I saw Sly.
Yeah,
Sly's
okay,
here.
Perfect. I haven't had a chance to look at chat yet. But regardless, those are our two mods. And in addition to them keeping careful watch over our chat or anything like that, you can, of course, look at their own stuff because they're both creators in their own rights. Please, guys, go ahead and drop your... Yeah, thank you. Drop your stuff. Beautiful. And other than that, let me think here. VODs are available immediately after the session is over, just on this channel and on our Twitch. I think that's it for the very beginning, unless someone can think of something.
Nope, my mind is a blank slate.
Perfect.
We know.
Dear Jonathan.
I'm too stupid to be in a conspiracy theory.
Yes, has to get into character. Blank.
Of course.
You're blank.
Just tabula rasa.
No,
sorry, I'm
only
just
less
feeling
blank.
spicy today.
All right. So, to summarize last episode. Yes. Quite.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. Everyone, please. Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't matter. Okay. Welcome, everybody, back to What's Left of Us. If you would all remember, and I'm going to go over to the map really quick. Last episode, we were in the zoo. Yes, the zoo, everybody. Here, I'm going to summon the players here so they can see and be part of this. In the zoo, they found our players found that they were embroiled in a very interesting zoo. Looked much more like a ball, a fancy ball. But by talking to the many patrons, which were all apparently uplifted animals from around the Feywild, it turned out that the zoo was them. What a twist! And they had to
Yeah.
wear fancy ball gowns, and it was a fan artist's delight. Regardless, there was a little bit of schmoozing, there was a dinner, of course, and then a dance competition. And all the while, everyone learned very interesting things and had a generally good time. If you don't count Rathgrithr, who was busy disassociating in a corner while eating as much as she could.
What else is new?
Yeah. However, by the very end of it, it was overall, I believe, a positive experience, regardless of the revelations of, for instance, the nature of Sparks, and the nature of Emery and her body, and the nature of Vernon and where he comes from. And I suppose there would have probably been some revelations about Rathgrithr, but she was once again eating, because she did not want any more revelations today. Thank you.
All revelationed out for the
All
time being.
revelations out and nowhere to go. And I believe it ended with everyone sort of having fun and being a group together, dancing on the floor. And even Rathgrithr having a good, peaceful moment looking over her friends having fun together for this, like, quiet moment. Or, like, I don't know, how long has it been? You guys haven't had a break in-game? Like a month? Over
Been a
month of just
bit.
doing
Yeah.
things?
Now that I
God.
think about
Well, I
it.
mean,
time for a-
technically, in
gotta be a-
game, we had a break
Yeah.
yesterday because we like went to Emery's house and we were there for like a week.
Sure,
And
yeah,
then
I
we
suppose so.
went to the clock tower, and then
Yeah.
on our way back from the clock tower, that's when we got jumped by Faye bullshit. So
That's true. That's true. That's true. Regardless, there needs to be a beach episode or an onsen episode or something like that coming up soon. Regardless, as you finish your dance and leave, returning to your normal clothing.
Damn
it.
Oh man, I look
we are
really
going to go
snazzy.
back to the main circuit.
sick drip. No.
Your sick drip indeed.
Jay, your mic keeps getting louder and softer for some reason.
That's amazing. I am
Like you're very loud right now.
I thought it was just me.
I am super glad that my mic is doing that. Amazing.
Mhm.
Let me quickly see about fixing that. What's going on? Wavelength, what are you doing, buddy?
No, what's left of us? It's a little.
Here,
What's
quick,
left of
someone
us?
tell a stupid joke while we wait.
Do you want me to tell my salad joke again?
No, because
Yes.
you need to be focusing on fixing technical difficulties. Does
I
anyone
can-
else
I
have a
can-
stupid
Well, I
joke?
can tell Jay's joke.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
Why do French people only put one egg in a salad?
why?
Why?
Because one egg is enough.
Very well done. Yes. Good job.
I'm gonna roll for
I don't have the
psychic
soundboard.
damage.
so-
7.
Psychic
Oh, I should
damage,
probably get my
7.
You resist the attack, and you think it's really funny.
You're not the DM. You're not the boss of me.
One day, Mildred is going to DM an episode, and that'll be...
None of you are ready for that experience.
Are.
No.
Ask anyone who I have DM'd for. It is unique.
Mhm.
Waiting for it. Waiting for that one shot.
I don't know
I still
what
need
is
to do my silly
auto-ducking
wizards
me.
one shot at some point. So I mean, hey,
I already used the names Barnes Nobel for another character, so
Well, unless VDO is doing something strange, which it shouldn't. No,
you're
it's
back
not.
to normal now. So I don't know. It might be.
yeah, no,
Maybe
you're
it was the
fine.
music. Who was the
I guess
music
it
doing
was. Oh
Yeah.
no! I guess you can't play the silly music anymore.
No classical dance music.
Damn.
It's a shame because last episode we learned that Vernon is a very good dancer, while some people have 2 left feet.
Oh, All right. All
Yeah,
right.
classically trained, noble, rich person, Emery Black, notably cannot dance.
I
Upsetting.
trained in a different body, all right? It's different.
That's fair.
I left
You
my
have to
good body
deal
at
with the
home.
Yeah.
I like this scenario because no matter which the result, right? Whether Emery can or cannot dance, she is embarrassed by it.
It's very
Yep.
funny. Let me pull every player back over to here, and we can begin as you
She's just
step
a very
back out.
complex character.
Blinking into the sun. You are back at the circus.
Oh, to see, think, ever be seen.
We don't want to get copyright struck. The mouse is always listening.
Oh no.
Okay.
Emery looks down and is not wearing her sexy dress anymore, and she just kind of goes, "Damn it."
Weirdly, Sparks is still wearing his top hat, though.
What the fuck?
It's the rules of cute. You can't. The good boy deserves his hat.
Yeah, I think that's how I learned the treble clef when I was still taking music lessons. Every good boy deserves a top hat.
God, I want to. You should talk to a therapist about your music teacher. Okay, anyway, let's move forward. Let's. Okay, all right. So, folks, what would you like to do now? The sun has not yet begun to set, but it is getting close. There is nearby the clash of fighting pits. There is a sword swallower just off to your left. Plenty of stages, places to buy things. There's a food court of sorts over here.
Food's probably cursed. Fighting
Who
pit's
could
probably
say?
cursed.
Who could
Market
say?
stall's definitely cursed. We could just sit here until sundown. And she just
Why?
like
What happens at
crosses her
sundown?
arms and just like looks at everybody.
Tim would kind of be bouncing around and being like, well, I guess we just danced. Don't have to do more.
Listen,
Looks back up at you.
everything here is cursed. All right, we're just doing this so we can get Henry back. All right, it's
Well, the two things we've done haven't been cursed.
They've been pretty cursed.
yeah.
Nothing happened to us except for dancing. And
That is true. I
some
did win this
terrible
award.
truth, maybe, that we shouldn't ever talk about ever.
Emery gets a migraine just thinking about it. He's like, I feel like those were maybe there to lure us into a false sense of security.
Is anyone here feeling particularly secure?
Nope.
Well, then it didn't work. Who cares?
Ah, shit, you're right. Cricket.
Well,
Sure.
I don't care what we do, but I can't sit here with my thoughts. So either we go fight something or go eat something, but
You want to?
enough discussion.
I would love to watch you beat the shit out of some Fey Nightmares.
Great.
I'm-
Fighting pits then.
Yes.
Yippee.
I'm also
would've-
unable to sit here with my thoughts because they don't exist.
He's still got the music bouncing around in there.
As
It's
Vernon
like a
walks,
desktop
he's actually
screensaver. There's just like
continuing to dance.
space scrolling by slowly, and there's like a crab just like occasionally floating across the screen while that music plays. That's just what's inside of Vernon's head at all times.
Oh, too true.
There goes a crab.
All right.
Instead of the monkey with the symbols, it's a crab with the claws.
Yep.
Just yep. Mhm.
Yep. Someone make that screensaver.
Yep. Please do.
So
I miss
someone please.
screensavers.
You arrive to the fight pits. The entrance is actually over there, but you look over here first, and you see a small ring surrounded by ropes. There is a giant orc, something similar, wrestling a little tiny man with a knife. And the as you watch, there's a small crowd gathered, and they are chanting, and they're like holding up signs like Orcman 316, and and you see the orc guy like pick up the little dude and throw him on the ground, and they get up on one of the posts and like fall down on him with an elbow, and everyone's like, yeah. Although from your angle, you can pretty clearly see that the orc man missed. And the little guy is playing it up, as it were. Would you like to continue?
Oh, well, I suppose it's bullshit like everything else.
You good?
Yes, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know. You just seemed a little testy for the last bit.
Testy? I seem testy, do I?
A little bit.
A little
Like
bit of the
hungry or
pot calling
something?
the kettle black, don't you think?
Well, that is my last name, so I mean.
Did you get a stomach ache from eating all the food?
No, I have a tummy ache of the soul.
Well, I have antacids, but I don't know if they'll work for the soul.
They won't, but I would like one, please. I
Okay.
did have a great deal of corn dogs.
She basically hands you like a lump of chalk. I mean,
Crunch!
Oh,
without
is that-
hesitation.
Is that how you're supposed to? All right.
Yes, you come on over here. And as you enter the ring, or enter the area specifically, somebody on the side is clearly like some sort of manager. In fact, his name tag says Vince. He's the McManager.
Oh no!
And
I got a bad feeling about this place.
Jay, are you just determined to sneak wrestling into every game we play?
this is my level to run. Okay, he needs a little bit of
In our
Look,
Thursday
we don't
campaign,
have
we
Macho
adopted
Men.
30 Macho Men Randy Savage, and that was like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. And now we're doing this now.
Well, then I had to say farewell to them. So, we got to keep me interested.
Loving
Listen, they
that left
imprinted
them
on
all.
us, and then we had to leave them farewell, and now we have unleashed them like a flock of locusts onto.
yeah.
Fantasy
like a
world.
play.
You guys remember
but-
that movie with Anna Paquin where she raises a bunch of geese? It was like that, only it happened in like one session.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Fly
No,
Away Home,
oh,
I think is what it was
yeah.
called.
Like way
Yeah.
too much. So
It's like exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, this guy is like, welcome. Are you going to be watching or are you going to be participating? I don't know what Vince McMahon sounds like. It's been too long.
He's like,
Fire.
it was me, Austin.
Yeah.
It was me the whole
Oh,
time.
good. He sounds like
so like an
he
incurable
sounds-
goblin.
right.
Yeah.
He sounds like one of the fucking Monstars. Gotcha.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Although obviously that's a grave insult to the Monstars, and I apologize profusely.
Yeah.
Well, they know what they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
It's true.
Rathgrithr just steps up and she's like, sure, I'll fight your fake bullshit fighters. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh, but someone like Rathgrithr, no, of course not. You'll get the real thing. Get into that ring whenever you like.
Oh, the real
Oh,
thing.
that-
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'll like grab her by the cape and I'll be like, wait, what's catch?
There's no
It's gonna,
catch.
like-
You're fighting. You're giving me something to entertain the audience with. You're already giving me something.
Yeah, the catch
Okay.
is I could be hurt, but you know.
Also, you're not allowed to unionize.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
That's
okay,
unfortunate.
what level of fey bullshit are we dealing with here? Is it just fighting? What do we get if we win?
You win.
Rathgrithr gets in the ring.
Okay.
You get a cool belt, though.
Get that
Oh, cool
belt!
belt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna
Don't
fight.
shit about
Rathgrithr.
belts. My
She's
pants
way
already
stronger
fit. Come
than me.
on, someone fight me.
That's right. All right. So immediately, when you get in there, someone just like appears on the other side of the ring. There's like some musical fanfare, and out of nowhere, something just appears.
Ba-ba-da-da. 'Cause
Yeah,
you can't
essentially.
see him before.
Right? It's God, it's another. Honestly, it's another little guy. Hold on. I probably should have just kept the little guy that was there because he was probably perfect. Give me a minute. Where did he go?
John Chena.
It's John Chena. Well, I'll use this little guy.
Perfect.
All right. His name is the Pebble.
All right.
Oh,
Is
This is
that
a Monster
because
Factory
he's a little
crossover.
rock?
Listen, I
I'm
have two
listening.
modes. Let's see here. Let's do this sound up. All right, I want a good clean fight, says Vince McManager.
Mhm.
I almost forgot what I called him for a second.
I rolled a 5 in my initiative. I assume that's coming at some
Oh,
point.
shit. You are absolutely correct. Hold on. Where is my dice?
If Emery looks around, are there any steel chairs nearby just in case?
Oh my god, he actually rolled worse.
Let's go.
First of all, there are no steel chairs, but plenty of like hay bales.
That could work.
And there is like a stool, I suppose, in each corner that they are not using for some reason. Anyways, regardless, Rathgrithr, it is your turn first. You notice
So-
that the Pebble has a weapon.
Just in scene, since we both got very low initiative rolls, I
Yeah.
imagine it's just the two of us, just like
You gonna
until Rathgrithr's like, all right, fucking whatever.
listen, Bob? It's me or you.
All right.
And she's going to walk on over. Does an 18 hit?
And 18 absolutely hits.
Da-da-da-da. For 6 slashing damage.
Awesome. You strike out 6 damage with your longsword, and you cut the Pebble clean in half. And it goes,
oh, damn.
oh, that, oh. And he disappears in a puff of smoke. And Vince
Vernon
McManager goes,
applauds wildly.
you're supposed to, you know what? Easy victory first. That's fine. That's fine. It's all good. Send in the next one. We caught this one wandering the Sword Coast. And hold on.
I mean, you did specifically say this would be the real thing.
Yeah, it is. That guy is well, I mean, we're gonna revivify him, but you know. Immediately opposite you, this wild looking man, hairy, covered in a leather jacket with long tassels. Found him wandering with like 30 other guys on the Sword Coast.
Oh my
Ultimate
God.
Warrior.
It is, and I had planned this before you even made that reference, but it is absolutely one of the Macho Men Randy Savages that have been wandering the Sword Coast.
He's
Like,
separated from the herd.
he shows up, he's like, where am I, brother? Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Back in the ring where I belong. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, he rolled a good, decent roll. Do
Of
you want
course
to
he
roll
did.
initiative
He's a
again?
macho
Or?
man.
Sure. 19.
19? Damn it, you beat him again. Okay. Yeah, it's your turn first. He's
check something
just
real
sitting there like, oh, come on, let's give him a show, brother.
Kick
Ron,
his
I hope you
ass.
Ron,
I'm
I
just
hope you
checking
appreciate it.
something real quick. Okay. I always have to check if Vicious Mockery is an action or a bonus action because of Baldur's Gate 3.
Mhm.
She's just gonna walk on over and do the if it ain't broke, you know.
Cheeky little shit talk.
A 9, but which is weird because
Wow.
on my screen that rolled a 16 and would therefore be a 21, but it's saying 9. So
Interesting. Well, I know that the roller can be a little awkward sometimes, but you said you saw a 16?
no, it's 9.
Okay.
It showed up as 16. It landed on 16, but for some reason it says 9.
I would rather go with what the dice actually rolled because I
Okay.
don't like this dice roller already.
Then 21.
21. Okay. That hits. Absolutely.
12 damage.
12 damage? Okay. Yeah, you rush towards him and give him a nice good slash, and he's oh, you think that's all that I got in me, you candy-ass jabroni? Using both of your phrases, Ron.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you have another attack? Hang on, you might. You're level 6. Yeah, you do. You have 2 attacks per action.
Oh,
I
I thought
didn't
you
know.
were asking me. I was gonna say, I guess you could say Rudy Poo, but that's
Rudy
Mm.
Poo.
Hmm.
Nah, it's okay.
That's a nat 20.
Nat
Damn!
20? Oh, shit. Well, roll yourself some double damage then.
How do you roll a crit in
If you right click on the damage, it'll have an option for critical.
there we go.
Yeah.
12 more damage.
12 more damage. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, you slash him. He goes, "That ain't nothing, brother." And then you whip around, leap off of one of the top ropes, come up over above him with an overhanded slash, and he just goes, "The cream rises," and you cut him right down the middle, and he
Jesus.
explodes into a bunch of smoke.
I'll lean over to
Oh
Bryn, like,
no!
do you think those guys are actually like dying or
You make me a
I
perception
hope
check,
not.
Emery.
oh, what kind of check?
Make me a perception check.
Okay. That's a nat 15 perception plus 0 15.
Sure. There's like a tent over here at the back, and you hear like it's muffled because there's some sort of magical muffling going on. But you hear like a couple of wet splats after the explosion smoke happens, and you hear, "Oh God, brother, she cut me right in half." And they're like, "Yeah, shut up, we'll heal you."
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like you'd hear
Um,
any wrestling match.
Yeah.
That's right. Like, oh, okay, she wants the big rollers, huh? All right. What am I gonna send at you next? Let me see. Wonder if I have some sort of no, not that yet. Oh, that would be very funny. What did I have? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. This huge hulk of a creature with a bandana on. Behold, Hulkamania is upon you.
Mm,
You really should kill this one. No one likes this
yeah. Yeah.
one.
Looks like he's made of hot dogs. It's weird.
It's true. He's got barely any fur on him, although you can tell he should be very hairy. Nah, most of it's fallen off. Excessive fantasy steroid use. Do you want to roll
Nat
instead?
1.
Nat 1? Oh, this time he gets to
Uh-oh.
go forward. It's like, yeah, okay. He
Can
just rushes
I
straight at you. He's gonna
do-
try and go for a grapple.
And
Although everyone else is kind of free to do stuff. I forgot to sort of tell you that, but like, I got lost
mean,
in the
she's-
sauce.
Doing fine so far.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I do like a bardic inspiration, but I don't see that on my thing anymore, so that might have gone away.
All right. Let's see here. Rathgrithr, I need you to make me either. No, an athletics check would do it. It's an athletics check. Actually, no, you could use our acrobatics. Pardon me. You're the subject of this. You could use athletics or acrobatics.
That's going to be another nat 1.
Oh no!
That one, oh no, the Yeti picks you up and grapples you as one of his attacks. His second attack, he's just going to kind of squeeze you a little bit. He's going to wrestle. He is going to do. 18 actually hits you, good, and he is going to do a certain amount of damage. That's 13 damage as you are constricted.
Meaning I have a movement speed of 0. What else does that mean?
That's it. You can still attack. You're just grappled.
So like he's got me grappled. I assume he headbutts me or something.
Essentially, yeah. He headbutts
Yeah.
you or just kind of squeezes a little too hard or something. Who knows? Trying to get you into a position for something big.
Yeah,
Your
she
turn.
just for the first time today, she just like looks up, her eyes just like wide, and she's got this crazy grin on her face.
Ooh.
She's like, "Now that's more like it." And she
Uh-oh.
rolls.
Yeti Bolay
It
is
is a
in some trouble.
17 hit.
A 17? Yes, a 17 does hit.
Kick his ass!
I'm going
For
to say
7 points
something
of slashing
similar.
damage. Second attack.
Something similar.
I'm going to yell out, kick him in the face, punch him in
Second
the
attack
head,
also
we want
hits.
blood, red, red, red. And I'm going to cast Bardic
For
Inspiration.
8 more points of slashing damage.
8 more points of slashing damage. I'm going to put 8 points on him. Gotcha. You can also, at the end of your turn, attempt to get out of the grapple.
What do I use for that?
Again, you're the subject, so it's acrobatics or athletics if you wish.
18.
18 does break the grapple. Push off. And there you are.
Ah!
And the crowd's like, yeah! Actually, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I need to. I'm gonna get more. Oh my god! Suspiciously similar crowd. Don't worry about it. This is just for filling seats. Don't worry about it. They're all seat fillers.
Just like in real wrestling.
It's like a scene in Speed Racer.
That's right. Don't look too hard at the audience, folks. Yeah, woo, yeah, woo. And he goes, oh god, and he's gonna go for a clothesline. You are going to get a chance to dexterity saving throw this.
21.
21 absolutely dodges, spin off to the side. He bounces onto the corner and just kind of, what that? He was hiding a little man. It's
That's his child.
he was so
Hey,
surprised. He
There's
made
a
a
fan in the
person.
ring.
Point
By
of order.
God, a fan is broken through.
He moves past me when he does this?
Yes,
Would that not provoke an attack of
it
opportunity?
would indeed. You
Get
can do whatever you'd like.
him!
15.
15 hits. He's not wearing any armor. He's very much mostly naked, except for the yellow speedo.
6 more
And the
points of slashing
bandana.
damage.
6 more points. Perfect. Beautiful. He's gonna, at the end of his turn, he's gonna call for his tag team partner and McManager. I keep forgetting because I want to say
Yeah,
McMahon.
Vince McManager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, McManager goes, who do I have? Who do I have?
The Underbaker.
What am I doing here? A very familiar sounding mimic appears in the corner. What? I didn't thought. I was busy doing other things. Well, you better put me right back right now. Oh, wait a second. I know these people. Hello.
Tammy?
It is indeed Tammy, the mimic.
I believe I missed the session where we met Tammy the Mimic.
It was in Leyland when you fought the slime prince. Tammy was there very briefly. She was the reward chest. She had been uplifted by a wizard, and now she is her own independent woman who is off doing things like adventuring and also eating many things. So
Is that just again to the group? Is that same fucking mimic from a few weeks ago?
you do know
I
she
don't
is
know.
bigger. Looks very well fed.
Comforting.
You guys met a mimic?
That's true. Vernon came
Yeah,
back at the end of that episode. Yeah.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It is Rathgrithr's turn.
So is the Yeti like getting out of the ring? Like,
He hasn't tagged in his tag partner yet. He just called for her.
well, good luck, buddy.
Uh,
20 hits, I assume.
a 20 does hit. Yes.
That is 11 more points of slashing damage.
Oh no.
And 13?
A 13 also does still hit. He's got a lot of health. He doesn't have a lot of armor.
And that's 13 slashing damage.
Jeez.
Damn. The rage of
Good Lord.
Rathgrithr.
And she is just like,
Oh
Whoa,
God,
whoa.
she cut him in half.
God! Oh, my bandana! My mustache! Oh, God!
Good God Almighty, it's a massacre.
You're not understanding the concept of Hulkamania. He's gonna attempt to get past you, but you're gonna get your attack of opportunity.
hell yeah.
Even though you don't normally have Sentinel, you're gonna count as having Sentinel for this match because it's a
And
rig
it
match.
hits.
Damn it! Okay, well he's stuck here. He's like reaching out for Tammy.
That's 8 more slashing damage.
No.
He's like, his hand is out, and I'm just hacking at it.
I do appreciate the realness of this, just because Tammy's still waiting patiently on the ring apron, like probably holding the tag rope.
Right.
Would Tammy want to get in on this at this point? It's just like, oh.
Tammy doesn't really know what's going on.
Would
it
you?
is-
No.
Right?
Would you? Like,
Yeah.
No.
you're a wrestler. As far as you know, this is all just staged. And one maniac gets in the ring with a sword and is just hacking away at your tag team partner. Are you in a rush to jump in and help? Like,
no,
no.
absolutely not. That's what I'm asking. Is like, hey,
I was like, I know I made a deal with somebody to do whatever you wanted for like 5 minutes, but honestly, this seems a little excessive. Oh, hello, how are you? And then it's the Yeti's turn again. Actually, no, it'll be Rathgrithr's turn again. I don't know why that happened. Hold on. That's happened. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. Rathgrithr, it's your turn. The Hulk is sitting right here.
That hits again.
Beautiful.
That is 11 points of slashing damage.
11 points of slashing damage. Gotcha.
And one more time, 18 hits. So boop,
My poor wrestler.
9 more points of slashing damage.
9 more points of
He's
slashing
bleeding
damage.
like a stuffed pig.
That's right.
Is he bloodied at this point?
Oh yeah, at this point he's like on the ground. He's like, Riff, what the fuck?
He's got that. He's
Just
got
tap,
that crimson
just
mask
tap,
on.
bitch. Like, what are you doing?
There's no tapping here. Yeti's turn. He tends to just crawl. He's just trying to crawl, which means, of course, you get another attack of opportunity and a chance to stop him again.
Oh my lord!
It's getting sad, bro. 12, I assume, misses.
No, 12 actually does hit still.
Oh my God,
His AC is
yeah.
11. He's got nothing.
That's 11 more points of slashing damage.
He's like, no, you. He basically just pit him into the mat, and he dies. He explodes in a puff of smoke. And Tammy's like, well, there goes my partner. I guess my deal is done, huh? Right? Right? Hello?
Seems like it. I
Anybody?
mean, I'm not going to fight you. You're
Right?
cool.
No, that's right. Exactly. I remember you. Hello? And then she explodes in a puff of smoke. She's gone.
So what's the deal? Do I
Finally.
get the belt, or do you have more bitches to throw? at me?
There's one more.
Ugh.
It's Mr.
Uh,
McManager. Complete.
No,
with
it's
the-
the Undertaker.
Oh no!
A huge roiling ball of black smoke appears in the other side. Rathgrithr, can you make me a perception check, please, as this new challenger enters with some ominous theme music?
17.
17. You notice that the crowd is starting to carry some signs. for you. Rathgrithr is best Girther. Eat more flour. All of Rathgrithr's greatest hits. But on a 17, you notice one or two signs in the crowd say, "What happened at the hill?"
Oh.
Ding ding. The next person comes in. He's gonna get an advantage on his initiative, which is bad because I rolled 2 shitty rolls in a row. What would you like to roll?
Well, I got a 5.
Oh, he actually beat you. Fuck yes.
I did
That's what
give
I'm
you bardic
talking about.
inspiration, by the way.
hmm
I can use inspiration on an initiative roll.
I'm just telling you.
Let's see here. Where is the womp womp? On its turn, the Undertaker will presume the shape of a young man that is eerily familiar.
Oh.
Penelope,
Oh,
you're
you're trying to get in my head, are you?
your line?
Yes, that's cute. You think you can fuck with me today? Today?
Make me a wisdom saving throw, my friend.
Uh,
8. Because you're right, you can. It seems.
Right?
the chat is screaming inspiration, inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Bardic inspiration.
You do.
Any minute now, D&D Beyond. Thank you. Nope.
Nope. That's
Nope.
unfortunate. Bardic inspiration aside, you take 7 points of psychic damage as you are faced with a specter from your past. Go for it.
Are the rest of us seeing this?
You
So-
see the rest of you see a young man. You have no idea who it is.
To clarify, I failed the wisdom saving throw. Am I fooled into thinking it's really him?
No. It just
Okay.
hurts.
Then I am definitely super pissed.
Mhm.
That's a nat 20.
Shit.
Oh. All right. There's those big whammies.
Just had to sell a little bit first, and now you're going to go back on the offense.
That's
Yeah.
11 slashing damage.
11 slashing damage. Gotcha.
It's a 14.
A 14 also hits as it pops back into the smoke after your first hit. Just
6 more.
6 more damage.
And she is like leaping at him and just like
Mhm.
screaming.
Mhm.
She does not like this one bit.
Beautiful.
And none of you have ever seen her like this.
Feral.
Like she looks right now like a barbarian in a rage, which you've never seen her like before.
On its turn, it'll back up not quite out of your 5 feet, but just enough to seem frightened, and it will assume the form of a little blue kobold, and it will look up at you. You ready to play now? You make good play, right? Rathgrithr? Hero? Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 5.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Man, all those heavy hitters. Just
You take another 8 psychic damage as you recognize the little tiny and again, just into your mind unbidden because you've been trying so hard to keep the memory out. This is the entertainment chief of the village that you were in, the little kobold who was in charge of all the entertainment for the area.
I remember. she is just losing it right now and goes in for another attack. 19, which does 10 more damage. And 15?
10 more damage. And 15 just barely hits, but yes.
8 more slashing damage.
8 more slashing damage, you say? Perfect. It pops back to being smoke once more. That was your turn. And on its turn, let's see, what else can I torture you with? Give me a second. I feel a little bad, but I suppose this is what this is for.
So does she.
Yeah.
And she is just like,
You picked the wrong day.
Ew. I feel like we're all just kind of like standing over on the edge, just like.
Yeah, the audience has gotten kind of eerily quiet.
This seems like it's bad.
The smoke roils and assumes the form. You'll have to use your imagination for this one, but a gigantic blue dragon fills the stage, glowering down at you, roaring with all the power. You can almost feel the heat of the electricity on your face. The electricity that killed an entire village in front of you. I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
16.
16! Rathgrithr, you do not take damage this turn. Instead, you unlock the hidden capabilities hiding inside of yourself and your suspicious sword. You may now rage like a regular barbarian. Instead of using your strength, however, you will be using your charisma.
Yo!
Ooh, sweet.
So you will gain your charisma bonus to every attack.
We're talking like He-Man style. I raise my sword, and it just starts like a beam of light. Right? Is this
very much?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, absolutely. You transform into the idealized Rathgrithr, which you might all notice does not actually look much different from what Rathgrithr does right now.
We had a very good costuming department.
You gain resistance to all damage, including magical, and you all of your attacks gain your charisma bonus as damage.
Let's go, Charm
Coming in swinging. That's another fucking nat 20.
Let's go!
Hell yeah!
It's so thematically appropriate, though.
Oh my
Let's
God.
Yes.
fucking go! I'd be like, I've got a sign now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vernon is like casting like, what do you call it there? The dang old Eldritch Blast out into the sky.
14 plus my charisma bonus, which is 6, so 20 damage.
20 damage.
And one more. It's a 15.
15. As damage or to hit?
To hit.
To hit. 15 does still hit. What was the crit damage?
20.
20. Okay, go for it. But yeah, 15 does still hit.
And 18 more damage.
18 more damage. He's not,
God
damn.
looking great even in this new guise.
So she's just like, just like hacking at it, like, you don't fuck with me today.
Yes. All right. On its turn, that was your turn. On its turn, I keep forgetting to make the change to turn. On its turn, it is going to assume a form and another desperate bid. It is starting, the smoke itself is starting to tear and swell and form. I think, especially because you gained a little bit of clarity with the last round, Rathgrithr, I think you realize that the thing you are fighting is not like a sentient creature of any sort. It is supposed to be sort of a mirror of sorts. And if you can imagine, you probably have an opportunity to force it into something after this round, if you wish. Something a little bit more benign, if you want to. Regardless, I'll save that for then. This time, it takes the form after the dragon of the sinister black-robed man that you saw at the top of the hill directing the dragon's attack, laughing as he did so in a very cruel manner.
Wisdom save?
Yes, absolutely.
11.
11. You take 6 psychic damage, halved to 3, because you are in your barbarian rage. And it is indeed your turn.
25 to hit. Okay.
Okay. Yes. The man is in the middle of saying something about how these things don't belong on his Faerun, and
Yeah,
you
she's
need
not
to get
even
out of the
waiting for
way.
him to
Yeah,
finish.
exactly.
She's-
Whack. Yeah.
It's 10 slashing damage
10 slashing damage. Perfect.
and an 8 to hit, which I assume.
Yeah, unfortunately, an 8 does not hit.
But-
However, it is enough to not hit.
However, if so I have barbarian power.
Yes.
Does that grant me reckless attack?
Yes, it does.
All right then. $13?
13, unfortunately, does not hit.
Okay, so she's just like, at this point, just so wild that she's just swinging all over the place.
At the end of your turn, regardless of you being on the back step, all that's going to happen is that this is going to be a little more difficult for you. You can attempt to assume, make the thing assume something that is benign, so that you might be able to finish it.
I growl like, why don't you choose the shape of the person whose fault it really is? And I try to force it to look like me.
Oh.
I have an opportunity here.
Oh.
Okay. I need to make me a wisdom saving throw, but because of your reckless attack, this is going to be a disadvantage.
I've never wanted to fail a roll so much in my life. 3.
3. As a failure, you do indeed fail to make it heed your very specific wording. However, it does indeed assume the form of Rathgrithr. Where is she? Hello? I wish to add Rathgrithr. Where? There she is.
I'm seeing double. 4 Rathgrithr's.
Wow! Whoa, Anya, you see that? And yeah, she is. Let's see so many Rathgrithrs right now. So you, knowing that you weren't able to muster up the mental prowess needed to force this thing to look like specifically how you wanted it to, like you wanted it to look like you, but you also wanted it to specifically look like the person whose fault it was. You know you failed, and yet it turned into you anyway.
So, hold on. The way you're phrasing this, it looks like Rathgrithr. Does it look like 1, Penelope as Rathgrithr, 2, Rathgrithr as we know her, or 3, Rathgrithr as she looks now?
This would be Rathgrithr as we know her.
Okay.
Right. And instead of, so she does prepare her sword as the great hero that she is. And she raises it and she is going to say, "Stop running." And you're going to have to make a wisdom saving throw again.
Is that at disadvantage?
No, this time you're fine. You wasted your disadvantage on
16.
Yeah, 16. All right, you don't take any psychic damage.
And when she says stop running, I just kind of grin and I'm like, fine by me. And I run towards her.
Oh, I see.
which is not much of a distance, but you
Yeah.
get, symbolically.
Yeah.
And I, in a frenzy, tried to slash my own beautiful face. 13?
A 13 does not hit.
Nat 1?
Not one. No.
Ooh,
You failed to get
I hurt
first.
myself instead of hurting myself.
That's right.
you hurt
right.
yourself in confusion.
Oh my god. It is her turn again, and she is going to make an attack on you. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
That hits, thankfully, because otherwise I would have lost my rage.
No, new rage rules say that it just lasts for 10 minutes.
Well, I didn't know if we were going by traditional
Oh,
5e or
I like
new.
some of the newer stuff for that, especially
It's-
for barbarians.
It
Barbarians
makes
got a bunch.
barbarians crazy powerful. I was playing
Yeah.
a barbarian in another campaign.
Absolutely. You're going to take 6 slashing damage, reduced to 3, and another attack. Oh, baby. That's not quite a crit, but it's close enough. And you also take another 6, reduced to 3. So you take that in total.
Now
As she's
hurt.
yeah, and now she's as she's slashing, and she's like, "You know what I mean. Stop running from yourself."
There is no myself.
Your turn.
We're dead.
And I attack.
Mhm.
12 misses.
This is-
And 24.
That hits. Perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
12 slashing damage.
12 slashing damage. Gonna turn back into soup, baby. At the end of your turn, you get a chance again to turn it into something that you want.
It is what I want it to be. This is who I want to take my rage out against. So
On yourself again. So,
yeah, I'm not.
But do you ward it the same way?
I think she would say, "Show them what we are."
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. This time not a disadvantage because you didn't use reckless attack.
Oh, I should have. 10.
10?
Mhm.
10 is on the line. Hang on a second.
Rule of cool. Just do whichever. What would be cooler, for me to fail or to succeed?
This time it succeeds. You see a little glowing blue mushroom on the ground, and it cranes its little face to look up at you. Well, you can make your wisdom saving throw.
16.
16 makes it.
I'm gonna try to just step on it. and
Step
squash it.
on it. Okay. Maybe an unarmed attack. Go for it.
Yeah. It's a nat 1.
It's like dodging out of the way. It's like, eh.
Wow, that mushroom is very agile.
And that's a nat 20.
Oh shit.
What is with these rules, man?
The duality of dice.
I don't think anyone has ever crit on an unarmed attack before. But that's 1 critical damage.
1 critical damage? Perfect. It's enough to knock it out of his form. Once again, you have knocked it out of its form at the end of your turn. You get a chance to transform it again. You're really getting a hang of it though, so the difficulty is going to keep going down. Again, if that wasn't quite what you were looking for.
And she just like screams, like her face is beat red, and she's like, "That's not who I am."
Wisdom saving throw.
10.
10 again. You can sense that this thing is attempting to like figure out what it is exactly that you want. As in, you have confused it. Regardless, in its attempt, you see a very plain looking young half-orc woman appear in front of you. Is this it? Wisdom saving throw. Disadvantage.
8.
8, unfortunately, you miss. And probably not because you don't want to hit her.
Oh, no, sorry.
That
was
was
a
the
wisdom
wisdom.
saving throw.
Oh, wisdom saving throw? Okay. That's right. I forgot. Wisdom saving throw first. You're gonna take 12 psychic damage reduced to 6.
How's Rathgrithr looking? Like HP
Not
wise?
good. I have 2
Mhm.
health points left.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not good at all.
But she is not fucking backing away now. Let me tell
Go
you.
for it. Go for it.
She is just losing it. I didn't mean to roll with advantage. That was a mistake.
I mean, if you want a reckless attack, you can.
I do wish to reckless attack. 25.
25 absolutely hits.
For 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
$21. And another 10 points of slashing damage.
10 points of slashing damage. This thing is really not doing hot.
And just 2 bloody Rathgirthers just
Yeah.
and she is just screaming, "You're weak! You let it happen! You're weak! You let them die!"
All right.
I'm going to turn to Emery and say, should I like do something here? Like I can heal.
Should we? This is.
I feel like I might get the wrong Rathgrithr.
Shoot us both.
I mean, she's looking like the nosebleed's pretty intense. Maybe a little something if you can do it like without them noticing.
I'm going to whisper healing word at a 3rd level.
You're gonna have to give me a stealth check for that, my friend.
Sure. Let me just see here.
Can I help kind of like by like standing in front of him kind of?
I don't know. It's mostly the verbal components that I'm worried about here.
So
So
big
Also,
arena
he's
full
really
of people
loud.
chanting.
No
That's
one's
true.
chanting anymore. It
Oh,
has
okay.
gone
That's
very
actually even
quiet.
better.
Yeah.
That's great.
I rolled a 16, all told.
16 isn't bad. You can go ahead and heal Rathgrithr for a little bit, whichever one you want.
Yes. So that's 3d4 plus 4. So hang on 1 second. Let me make sure I've got the right one. Okay, that's 1, 1, 2. So that's 4 plus 4 is 8. So you get 8 health back.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
No problem.
Turn the
And then I
exposure
think I
down
have
a little
to
bit.
click the thing. So there we go.
It has begun to rain. Rathgrithr, what would you like the pudding to turn into? The
She's
same
as
thing
I
again, as you might.
she's
as you can,
exactly
you
as I
try.
want her.
All right. Make me another wisdom saving throw. Disadvantage, unfortunately, because
Well, luckily I accidentally rolled with disadvantage, so 4.
4. All right. Once again, trying to assess your wishes to get to the bottom, who is really responsible in general. It kind of begins shifting through a dozen different shapes. The young man again one of the kobolds, the dragon, the laughing man at the top of the ridge, your old caravan master who brought you there in the first place to do a show, your parents, for whatever reason, I'll leave that to you because they are vastly unimportant in this chapter of your life. It doesn't seem to be able to figure it out. It is injured, and whatever accounts for breathing for a pile of black smoke as it hovers weakly at the very base of the stage. It attempts to assume one last form, and at first you think it's just the kobold again, but it is a kobold with pale, very pale skin and albino. She's got a shock of beautiful white hair. Something reminds you that you know this person, but you're not sure. She's leaning heavily on an axe, and it comes back to you for a quick second. The last thing you saw before being dragged out of where you were was this kobold leaning heavily, injured on an axe, holding her face. One of her eyes had been damaged, and she was looking for survivors in the wreckage with a bunch of other kobolds, and she spotted you first. She looks up at you and she goes, "Gotta stop running. We need you." It's your turn.
Rathgrithr kind of steadies herself. And she says, "I know what I need to do." And she swings her sword. Once again, I accidentally... so a dirty 20?
Yeah, that hits.
That would be 15 points of slashing damage.
With that, you cut through the smoke, and it completely dissipates. And you are left on a empty platform, soaked. It takes probably a good 3 or 4 minutes before McManager steps back out and says, "Cheer, your contracts are revoked." And all of the people at once go, "Yeah!" There's like a chorus of things, and the almost as if that itself banished the rain. There you are, back.
Vincent McManager, and I just like make a beeline for him.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? You did great.
And I just shove him.
Falls over comedically.
What, do you think that's funny? You think it's funny to make people relive their life's traumas?
What are you talking about? I don't control
Thought you
that
could get
thing.
one over on me, did you?
This isn't me. I just run the ring.
And I kind of grab him by the scruff of his neck and I hold him close. It's like, "Do you know who I am?"
Rathgrithr.
And I just kind of shove him down again.
Gah!
And I grab the belt, like, and I throw it
Perfect.
over my shoulder. And I look down at him and I say, "You're goddamn right I am."
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
And she just like leaves the ring, arms up in the air.
Yeah. All right. You gain the Belt of Champions. I will be adding that to your sheet in a moment. Basically, it lets you crit on a 19 and a 20 instead of just a 20.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
And other than that, that's a good moment for us to take our break. If you have all been watching us for about an hour now, you should get up and stretch and get a drink and stuff. I need to drink because all of those Macho Man and McMaster voices and stuff like that really hurts the throat. So I'm going to need a quick minute. We
to see
will go.
yourself.
We will be back probably in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody.
Jay caught me
Hi,
a little off guard.
I usually do a countdown when we go back, and this time I just did 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Which is perfect for me. Okay, well, welcome back. I hope you all had a good break. We are back in the aftermath. Once again, I have to make that magical item for you, Rathgrithr. I did not have it available immediately, but just remember you crit on a 19 and 20 now. As you have this big shiny belt, and they're cheering and stuff, is ongoing. And Vincent McManager is like, okay, yeah, you're boggling me. I have some of my regular wrestling.
Yeah, go back to your shit, stupid, fake wrestling or whatever you were doing.
I wasn't expecting there to be a death match today.
Several deaths. I think Tim would be like, Rathgrithr, you got really in character. I was convinced.
Yeah, or you like. I've never seen you fight like that, even in our sparring sessions. Where'd that come from?
That was really cool. You really had us going there for a second, though.
I had a moment of clarity.
Okay,
Friends.
like
I must ask something of you.
okay.
Of course.
There
I
is a
have
man.
a little extra food in my pocket.
Wasn't what I was referring to, but we'll circle back to it.
Okay.
There is a man. I don't know his name, and I don't know what he wants. But he did me a grave injustice. He killed a lot of people. And I will put him in the ground. I would like your help.
One of the
Oh, I
people
love
you
burying people.
beat the shit out of up there.
I don't know where to find him or when we will see him, but I must stop him from hurting anyone else. I know it's a lot to ask. He commands a blue dragon,
That is.
but I wouldn't ask if it weren't important.
Well, we've already dealt with one dragon. And I mean,
And several dungeons.
Yes. I would be very much for this as I mean, just as, on principle, the entertainment value that you provided today alone is worth my help. But I would just like to make some sort of a deal here where once we moiderize this person, that I get to keep his clothes so that I can make nice little things out of them later on.
All right.
Just wanted
Yeah.
to get that on the record.
No, yeah, that's fine. Sure. If that's,
Excellent. Let's go.
Well, Vernon, you do know people soil themselves when they die, right?
Well, you know, we usually
Like,
cut that part out.
I don't know if you watched, but that Macho Man made a huge mess all over the floor of the.
Did a real paint job. Hard not to step in. Yeah.
It's nothing a little bit of prestidigitation can't buff out. Okay. We just need to find a gnome to sing its song, and then I'm sure that we can just
God damn it.
You can't make. That's my culture. You can't do that.
Gnomish pooping song. It
My-
returned.
My gnomish pooping culture is not your costume. This is.
Well, I didn't say it was a costume. I am just, you know what? It would just make things a little bit easier, perhaps, if we could use our own special traits to to help out necromancers. You know, take off on a more continental scale, we'll say, and that in part comes from taking this man's clothes, regardless of whether or not he defecates in them, and making them clean so that we can use them in cute little scarves that we will probably sell to children.
Okay.
Well,
so-
as long as you've got your priorities in order, yeah.
Okay.
The winter is coming.
Jesus Christ.
I have heard that. Yeah. Didn't
Mm.
you sell some scarves here to some nice people?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then he like starts to remember that it turned into like blood and guts, I think. Yeah, it was still a good time. I got to rub a couple of coins together, and put them in my pocket. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's perfectly amenable to me. You can have the clothes that he shits in. Sure.
Are
didn't-
you like good though? I mean, you seemed real like intense up there. Were you just like getting into the spirit of a good wrestle or what?
And she looks at you, and she's got an enormous smile on her face, and she says, "This is the best I've been in quite some time."
Inside check.
Yeah, you can do an inside check if you want to.
Oh, okay. One sec.
12.
Where is that? There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an 11.
Yeah, I mean, 12 and 11 is probably enough to get the surface. Are you attempting to hide any sort of feelings, Rathgrithr? I don't think so, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I think at this point you'd realize that she's really being relatively honest, and in terms of like she is feeling very much better with herself. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
all right then.
and not that I don't want to pull us back into a particularly fraught area right after such an intense scene, as good as it was. But Rathgrithr, how good? Like, do you actually have some measure of peace with what you are and who you are?
The changeling thing, whatever it was, saying like stop running, and then seeing like the woman who pulled her out of the wreckage and facing herself, and like having to assert that she is not the mushroom, it kind of reframed things for her, and now she realizes that like this isn't something she needs to tuck away, and she has to confront the man who did this to move on and to grow.
Okay.
It's got a target now.
Then
Yeah.
I think
And a sense of purpose.
as you're beginning to clear, just like other trauma-based amnesiacs, you're going to start having access to those memories again whenever you really want to delve into those. Just let me know, and we will. You will have a much easier time attempting to access them. Okay.
Yeah.
So
In the meantime, would you like a little bit more healing? Because it looks like, I mean, you are
actually,
covered
as soon
in
as you
blood.
left the gates, back to full health you went.
Oh,
Any expended spell slots were reset. Same thing with class uses of things like bardic inspiration and such.
that for me as well, or
Oh yeah.
okay, I just want to make sure.
No, I
huh.
feel pretty good actually.
I mean, you are still covered in blood. It's just
This
You
is mostly not mine.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? That's great. That's really weird. But hey,
Oh,
Good.
when you fight with swords, you get covered in blood. That's just what happens.
Yeah, but I don't think I remember seeing you get hit that much, and there was a lot of blood. But I mean,
Well, I was hitting, they were hitting. There was a lot of swordplay involved. It's a very athletic. People say that it's staged, but it does take a lot of endurance to be slashed with swords over and over. I will say.
I had always heard that kind of fighting was fake, but
You hear while you guys are sitting here, you hear like a clamor from behind you back towards the stage, and they're like, "He's loose, he's loose!" And you see the Macho Man like running around, like he jumps over the fence and starts running towards like the Fey Forest itself, just like leaving the circus area. Like, get him, he's loose! Oh yeah!
oh my goodness, he appears to be consumed with macho madness.
This place.
Too much
Beware.
fantasy cocaine.
There is now a macho man, a singular macho man, free in the Feywild.
I can't wait for the
I'm
Macho Man to
telling you,
come up with
it's
canon.
like the Zumbinis thing. He got bumped off of the group at some point because you didn't make a pizza good enough, and now he's just loose.
He's
Yeah.
just loose in the
Wild.
Feywild. Notoriously a place where the cream rises to the top.
That's what I've heard.
They move in herds.
What a great
They
time.
do move in herds. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, I guess.
That's one way to put it. There was mention of food. Anyone hungry? I'm starving.
There is indeed a food court not too far from you.
Do we know
I
if this
get
is
hungry again, but at the same time, I
fey
totally
bullshit
can.
food? If am I going to get stuck here if I eat this? Does anyone know?
Well,
You can ask the attendant, I suppose.
you're legally required to. They're legally required to tell you if it is. So
It's true. It's
I
just
guess
like
it's
being
fine.
a cop.
That's right. Yeah, you go ahead and you pass the stage stalls, you pass the gigantic sword swallower, you pass the stage full of it's like there's a yuan tea lady with a bunch of snakes that are doing like a snake show essentially. And you could go and pass these market stalls that are all trying desperately to hawk wares. Some of them a little too desperately. You don't know what's going on there. And then you get here, and the attendant is waiting. They're like, yes, please, come, eat, please.
Sure.
I've got
but
2 heads.
Yeah, this is the waiter seems to be an Etten. Can I get you anything? Perhaps the wine menu?
Okay,
So-
first of all, before we order anything, is this fey food like any weird bullshit that's gonna trap us here if we eat it?
No, this is the open air court. This one is for everyone. And the wine is perfectly serviceable, although it is also bad.
So one of your heads is French and the other isn't.
Yeah, he got it in his head that it's best to be French when serving wine. And I
Now, can I
like
ask you
it.
about your salad menu?
It is enough.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
I don't have any strong preferences one way or the other, so
Friend, what I'm looking for is a big pile of much food.
Much food.
Mhm.
Well, the hot dog eating contest didn't go as planned, so now we've got a lot of extra hot dogs.
Direct me to them.
Sit right there, I'll get you the pot. One of the contestants exploded.
from eating too many hot dogs or from
No.
a different thing.
Unrelated.
Oh, I hope it wasn't one of those Eldritch blasts that I shot off into the sky.
You got to be careful where you're shooting your Eldritch blast. You
I
might
might
be
accidentally
doing the
kill
hot dog
Fantasy
eating
Joey
contest.
Chestnut.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Not
They bring
Joey
out,
Walnut or Johnny
and as
Walnut.
like they bring out a pot that would probably feed a regular sized Etten, which is usually like twice the size of this guy. It's a huge pot. He's having like a big trouble. Be like, all right, coincidentally, one of our wine choices was this hot dog water. It's free on the house. Go for it. And he puts down the pot and he goes, here's your hot dogs. Have fun.
Just eating
Did we at least-
fistfuls.
Do we at least get like buns and like ketchup or some shit?
Extra.
Or are we just raw dogging it?
Literally
Yeah!
raw dogging it. My God.
We're a wholesome family show here.
We
at What's Left of
are.
Us.
Yeah.
This is fucking family friendly entertainment here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your family may vary.
I just want it known that Rathgrithr
Oh.
is
It's okay. We're good.
Rathgrithr is eating an upsetting amount of hot dogs.
It's a handful of rubbery meat and just. Oh, yeah.
One handful? No, several. She is just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bits
Full
of hot dog are
fucking
falling
squirrel
onto the table.
cheeks.
Yeah. Absolutely. They brought out like a bowl of ketchup and mustard. You could just
I get like a fork or something. I'm not.
Where's the bowl of relish?
We didn't think we had any Canadians, so we didn't bring out the mayonnaise.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Fantasy Canadians.
I've never heard of this country before in my life, so
It's not a real country. Even
But
in
we've both
fantasy
heard of
areas.
France, apparently, so that's a weird double standard.
It's weird. It's strange. And so, yes, there is much hot dog eating. There are also other foods, should you wish. There's plenty of like Ren Fair style foods. The whole like chicken on a drumstick sort of thing,
Oh
or
hell yeah! I'm
Rathgrithr,
getting
would you
turkey
like any
leg.
sauerkraut?
exactly turkey leg, meat,
Perhaps some
mutton, coleslaw. There is actually coleslaw, which is strange. Yeah,
Emery
yeah.
gets a turkey leg, and she looks like she wants to eat it like so bad, and you can tell she's never eaten anything like this before, and she's struggling a little bit because she's like she's fighting with the nobility side of her. That's just like put it down, knife and fork. But I'm just like, no, you're supposed to like eat it, but it's gonna get on my face. Shit.
Emery, you okay? You're just supposed to kind of eat food. Look at Rathgrithr.
I am doing my. How do you eat this without making a huge mess? I just.
Rathgrithr
Very
looks like a crime
carefully.
scene probably right about now. Like,
In
yeah.
fact,
Oh God,
I would
you're covered in
recommend you
blood
don't
again.
look at Rathgrithr unless you're prepared to make a Constitution check.
In between like hoisting the whole bin to just drink a bunch of hot dog water.
Oh God.
Like I think I would like to hold on to some sort of shred of my dignity.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to eat like that. Just eat it.
Yeah.
They have tomatoes here. I'm gonna go figure out what they taste like finally. And
Okay.
That's a fucking throwback right there.
episode 1, baby. Go watch it on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. You all sit there and have a delightful bit of food as the sun finally begins to set fully, and at some point fires are lit in front of the big top, and a man walks out and shouts with a magnified voice via thaumaturgy, "Please join us in mere minutes for the finale of tonight's show in the big top."
Oh, didn't we have to go to that? Wasn't there somebody
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's been what we're waiting for.
Think they let us bring hot dogs or?
Just
Probably. I mean, you got him here.
you are gonna get sick, and then we are gonna see all of those hot dogs again.
I won't get sick. I'm a mushroom. I'm fine.
You're what?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I don't know if I mentioned this to any of you. Turns out I'm a mushroom.
Well, yeah, I
Oh,
told you that
that's-
earlier.
Yeah, you know. You,
Right.
yeah.
I thought you were
I
like
didn't tell everybody.
I thought you were like turning. You said something about like turning into one, like a
Nope.
like a wereshroom situation. Did you
Yeah,
get
that's
like
what I
bitten
thought,
by
but
a
then,
radioactive mushroom or some shit?
That's what I thought. Yeah. No, but talk to that magic mirror. Turns out I was a mushroom whole time. Crazy, right?
That's
That mirror
very
was mean.
interesting.
I'm gonna like poke Rathgrithr's arm. Does it feel like a mushroom?
feels like a person's arm.
You sure?
Yeah. No, I didn't want to believe it either, but yeah, no, totally. I'm a mushroom.
How
Remember
does
earlier
that-
when they're fighting the thing that was all of my fears?
Yeah, what it was a mushroom for like a hot second. Is that like your father or something?
Wow.
No, I was like doing a thing like, show them what we are. It was very
I mean,
dramatic.
I
It
mean,
was.
it was a lot of screaming, and it was kind of hard to hear over the sound
Hmm.
of rage. But
I was over there screaming in a southern accent, whatever that
yeah, it was
means.
really weird. I don't know why he was doing that.
Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, Vernon, thank you for the healing dabbit, bro.
Oh, of course.
Just ketchup.
Ketchup and like bits of hot dog just come away on your hand.
Oh, well.
That's weird, right? Like, I'm a mushroom, you're a crab. You've got some kind of thing going on where you turn into a monster.
Yeah, it hasn't happened in a bit
Yeah.
though.
Oh, and my
Maybe we're
dog is
due for that.
God.
Oh yeah.
Hmm,
But wait, I'm also God.
Different
you
gods.
are.
There's a bunch.
Yes. That is true.
Yeah.
There's a whole pantheon.
There's some weird time metaphysical stuff going on that I don't quite understand just yet. I got to make a bunch of notes on it.
Yeah, that was kind of another thing that happened back at the animal parade that we didn't
You got
really.
to play with ferrets.
Yes.
It did look like you were having fun.
So, I guess one of the things I can do, and I haven't really thought about it because like I'm still kind of grappling with the whole devil, not a tiefling thing. Refresh my memory, DM, on exactly like
Mhm.
what was seen with like the soul vision true sight thing. Was that because like there was a couple different things for everybody?
That's true. That's true. I can't directly recall specifically what I said in the episode itself, but when you were looking through your true sight at people,
Hmm.
you should have seen, for instance, that Sparks, a heavily divine creature filled with potential. You obviously would have seen something vaguely similar to Vernon, except it was different. It's like his divinity is. I think I described it as like what you're seeing is like the finger of a glove. You know, that sort of idea. Rathgrithr, what you're seeing is that they are there is something extra dimensional about Rathgrithr, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it. It's different than them being a planar being like devils and celestials are. And Tim Tam, the only extremely interesting thing about her is that thing that you get about her when you're looking at her is that she is the only one. There is only one Tim Tam.
I'll just kind of relay this to everybody.
And Tim will be like, well, yeah, there should be. Oh, well, I mean, technically there's a bunch of clones.
Yeah, but I mean, like, wasn't like the tattoo on the back of your neck symbolic of something? Like,
Yeah, my number.
but there was like the other thing,
Other thing?
like there was like a circle around it or something.
Yeah, something about me being the right test subject or something. These tomatoes are good.
Yeah. I like the little ones better personally, but to each their own, I guess.
You definitely didn't pay taxes on that, right?
There's no taxes here. I think the Feywild has it right.
Oh, we should stay here.
Mm.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could deal with Fae bullshit every single day.
Yeah, no, we
I
should
think-
probably get out and
I think as Vernon was saying, we should probably stay here, and Tim was like munching in agreement. You see a dude with like a top hat and like steepled fingers start to walk towards you with like a big curly mustache, and then as soon as the other two are like, "Nah, we should really get out of here," he goes. And it's just
Oh, I'd say Rathgrithr is actively shooing him away. Like, no. That's not a contract to get out of here.
Damn. God, I should have
Emery
gone.
is like-
I should have absolutely
Emery
put some of
sees
that
the
guy.
suspicious guy and just gives her best death glare at him.
Man, if I could be Snidely Whiplash for like Halloween, I probably should. My
I'll
goodness.
trap them in the Feywild. No one
That's
will
right.
ever know.
That's right. No one would ever know. Oh my goodness. Okay. But yes, you are all the horns sound again, and you see most of the people in this area begin to file into the big top.
All right. And she just kind of like punches her fist and is just like, let's fucking do whatever the fuck this is going to be. Just gets up and starts heading in that direction.
I follow, but I'm holding the pot of hot dogs and walking.
The pot of hot dogs.
So many hot dogs.
You go into wrestle mode again, maybe you can use that as a weapon.
That's a very good strategy, actually.
And that is said in character for the record.
No, I mean my sword is
Those-
even more magic than it was. So I
Okay,
don't-
okay.
I'm not gonna
Picture
do that.
this. You take the barrel, you chuck it at him, you stick him inside the barrel, and then you just like whack at him with the sword.
That's that's
Yeah.
very
Seems like
effective
a waste
strategy.
of
You can't
hot
see where you're
dogs,
going.
but all right.
Well, you eat the hot dogs first if you really want to. You just ate like 100. Are you really still hungry?
I mean,
Do you like have a stomach, or does it go into some kind of like extra planar nonsense?
I don't
Oh, that's
know
a good
anymore.
question.
That's a good question. That's a good answer too.
You know,
like
a
we
week
need-
ago,
Perhaps
that
later we
question
can
would have
feed
really
you Tim,
haunted
and then
me. But
Tim can
now,
report back to us.
you know, as long as I'm here eating hot dogs with my pals, that's
Right.
fine.
You pass through the beginnings of the big top tent, and indeed there is several people already waiting in the wings. Pretend there are models here. Don't worry about it. You
No, Jay,
sit.
I want to see you fill those tents.
Oh God, please. Listen, I'm cooking
It's very
here.
dark in here. I can't really see anybody
hot
else, but
dogs.
I
First
get the
one's
impression
here.
there are many people in here.
That's right. There's fire, and there is music and the stomping of feet and the clapping of hands. This is the greatest show, etc., etc. And I could, anyways.
What's his
There
name
is
here?
a singular woman standing near the center, fire illuminating her face, a big top hat garishly decorated with reds and whites. This is the circus mistress, the head of the entire festival. And you see as she points to her throat and casts a spell, she begins. Welcome to the final act of our circus, everyone. Have you enjoyed your day? And a bunch
It's
of
been pretty fun, yeah.
yeah,
Sort of.
sort of. Yes, yes, yes.
It's been better than the state fair.
It's been better than the state fair.
Where's my
And
deep fried Oreos?
Wait a minute, is there a butter sculpture anywhere?
butter sculptor anywhere.
I'm
Absolutely.
not leaving till I get a deep fried stick of butter.
Deep fried stick of butter. We will make it happen. She points out to the thing. We'll make it happen.
Everybody gets a deep fried stick of butter.
As we get to the finale, the whole reason you've been here, some of you folks have indulged in our more pricier schemes. Thank you for the bits of your souls you have given us today. But for those of you who have not, one final experience must be paid. Welcome to the big top. You will be part of our final show of the night. And the fires burn down, and you hear cavorting as a troupe of horrifying clowns enter.
Woo, yeah, you deserve our souls. Yeah.
No. I just laugh. Just like laughing, like trying to get him to shut up.
With a pair of absolutely monstrous lions.
Oh, I get what the reference was now.
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
Dire
The big
lions.
top is ready. The floor is set. Next time, the end of the circus.
Woo, woo, woo.
We'll see you then.
Wham, wham.
Folks, we are going to take a very tiny break before we get to the table talk, but this is indeed where our month will end. So, if you have been watching us this entire time, please get up and stretch and get yourselves some drinks, because when we come back in about 5 minutes, we will be answering all of your questions, and also questions directed towards me from the other players, as inevitably will happen. Come back and see us, I don't know, eat a bunch of hot dogs. I don't care. I'll order some. I don't know.
I want to see Rathgrithr eat these clowns.
Watch me eat 24
Tastes funny.
no-name hot dogs in a row.
7 corn dogs back to back.
You certainly will not regret.
You will certainly not regret eating 7 corn dogs.
It's always back, but we'll see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Put this up. Why not? We are at the couch session where we answer all of your questions. Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Interesting. Anyways, regardless, I was just looking at my sound level. Sorry. Don't worry about me. Do not mind me. Ignore me. Except don't ignore me. Basically, this is a section where we answer all your questions, and to do that, you're going to type in question in big bold letters for me at the very front of it so I can see it here. My bot that used to do this was depreciated. I am sad. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I will do it by hand. It's fine. And I will be answering all of your questions about this episode and earlier episodes. So please, if you have any questions about that, I know several of you have recently gone through our library because our good buddy Jinx is doing all of our editing for us. And so we are now having a bunch of our episodes put back out properly. So please don't be afraid to ask questions about that. Other than that, I think we are good to go. And I normally start with a question from the couch while we get ready here, but there's a big question that just came up here from our mod, Sam, pronouns in my bio. Question, it's my birthday tomorrow. That's not a question, but happy birthday tomorrow to Sam.
Happy
Our lovely
birthday.
mod. Our mod has been with us this entire time. Everybody say happy birthday to Sam. What would your
Happy birthday to
character
Sam.
get as a gift for Sam? Mod? Yes.
Hot dogs.
We certainly have a lot of those sitting around.
Rathgrithr just came into an abundance of hot dogs, and so
You know, like a candy necklace,
Oh
But,
no.
but like
But of
made
hot
of hot
dog?
dogs. Yeah.
right,
Okay,
now
but the follow-up, would Rathgrithr be willing to give up food?
I think Rathgrithr values friendship over food, but
Wow.
just barely.
Wow.
Just barely, though.
Learning
Mhm.
something new about Rathgrithr all the time.
right, exactly. Also,
Um,
follow-up question: would you string it horizontally or let them dangle and string them through like the very top, so you have like a
I would-
fan of hot dog?
Honestly, I don't know what Sam looks like. Whichever is more flattering, you know.
I think a lot of things would look flattering on Sam, regardless. So, Vernon would get.
I would probably get you a nice, warm, recently washed scarf.
Mm.
Recently washed, thoroughly recently washed
Thoroughly recently washed.
from a bisected macho man.
Yep. All those tassels, pre-owned.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
But you
Pre-owned.
wouldn't know it.
Yours.
You wouldn't know it. That's right. Emery.
Honestly, I don't know if like
Catch.
she I'm almost thinking is like, hey, you want to learn how to use a sword here? Come at me. Just like sparring sesh. She thinks that's a present.
Sure. I mean, I think that's a present. I literally did it when you came up.
Also, because we talked about it during the break, but we did not mention it. Jared, thank you once again for 50 gifted memberships. My God. He's doing it
holy
again.
crap. We've had a lot of gifted memberships this time. I don't actually see on OBS who gives me stuff, so I will.
You gotta do what I
Find
do
that
and pop out the chat.
Yeah.
But that's an extra window, and like my poor computer is dying from memory loss, so I have a lot of things going right now, so I can't like keep popping out windows because then I will
Well,
go offline.
skill issue.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I will.
I mean,
I'll figure it out.
if you don't feel like it's important to thank people that give,
It
us,
is. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay. Damn. Wait a
I mean, it's just it's obviously one more
That's what it is.
wiki article up. That's fine.
That's
you know.
yeah, I suppose. We're just too big of influencers now to thank everybody. You understand?
Mhm.
Sam, I would, as a GM, I would give you a tragic backstory
No.
that I would torture you with constantly.
Great answer. Great answer.
Yeah. It seems to be what people want. So like,
I mean, I got a belt, so
that's right. That's right. Question from Victor, dead Kronov jail. Jay, I'm starting to realize something. You are the kind of GM who all of your campaigns take place in the same reality. Most of them take place in the same reality, or affect the same reality. Think about that. I think I've got maybe 4 campaigns active right now that are operating in the What's Left of Us universe directly, and at least one that's operating that's because of the What's Left of Us universe. So
I'm learning something new about our Blades in the Dark game every day.
Yeah, if you ever want to like trim some of them out, just have the crabs eat them.
that's
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Listen,
They're hungry.
the trick is to have a cleaning squad. Like there is a time limit for some of these extra campaigns because it's not my fault. You understand? It's the players in these other campaigns that are making these decisions.
Crisis on Infinite Faerûns.
Question: can we all sing "Sam Happy Birthday"? I don't know, guys. Do you want to sing "Happy Birthday" to Sam?
This is going to be weird with the delay.
There's gonna be a
I
little
just
bit
feel
of delay.
like I think there's some kind of with my mind.
Man, Sam, I think instead of singing, because some of us are a little bit shy about that sort of thing regardless, you do deserve a good happy birthday, and we very much do appreciate all the things you've done for us over the years. This is our 3rd year running this show, and you have been with us every step of the way. Thank you so much for all of that. We really do hope you have a good birthday.
Indeed.
By the way,
Yeah.
3 years, level 6. Just saying.
Yeah,
3 years.
kind of
Yeah.
fucked up. And we like just got to level 6.
Work harder.
My last 3-year campaign, I got to level 20. All right, so
It sounds like your GM was going easy on you. Before I move on with the next question, does anybody on the table have a question for anybody else on the table?
I do.
Yes. What's up?
How do you consume your hot dogs? What toppings do you like?
Sideways, just
like a
Disgusting.
typewriter.
the most unhinged way possible. Mhm.
I usually toast the bun, then do a little bit of ketchup and mustard. And if I, have the money to spare, then I'll get some relish,
Sure.
some onions.
With the caveat that I would prefer not to eat hot dogs when
Mhm.
possible.
Yeah.
I would have the Woix baby.
Do people in Canada actually eat hot dogs with mayonnaise? Is that a real thing that you said?
There is indeed a group of people in Canada who like to
No,
put
this
mayonnaise
is-
on everything.
No, this
And-
is a Northern Ontario pathology where they think that anything they do is just what Canadians do. Yeah, we all drink milk in bags because these
Oh.
fucking perverts do it.
I definitely do. First of all, I'm in Ottawa. That's hardly north. It is north of you.
North of me.
Yeah.
North of the important part of Ontario.
Shit, man. Oof.
I was gonna say, aren't you just south of Quebec?
I'd argue, but I am 100% like every person who lives in Ottawa. I fucking hate Ottawa. it's the worst.
It's the only city that I, as someone who lives in Toronto, can get away with making fun of.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go and see more of Canada, I guess.
All y'all are north of me.
That's
Texan.
true.
Texan
Yeah.
spotted.
Yeah.
I do have a fondness for hot dogs, but I think it's because it was like the only protein I could afford to buy for a very long time. So I would very frequently boil them and chop them up and put them into things to make them a little bit better. But if I do have my druthers, having like a beef hot dog that's been barbecued with like some fresh chopped onion and some mustard on it is like easily one of my favorite. Easily. Yeah. They're very
gonna
easy to
slightly-
barbecue too. So.
I slightly remix the question because I could do with or without a hot dog. I love a corn dog, specifically like those.
Corn dogs are okay. Yeah.
I
Hence the-
specifically like the kind you can get at H Mart, like the Korean street vendor corn dog.
Honestly,
Oh, I love
Korean like corn dog,
Oh.
those like Korean corn dog restaurants that have been popping up
Yeah,
recently.
nice.
Holy
They've
shit.
changed the corn dog game. Those
Oh,
ones that are
it's
like
Good.
wrapped in hash browns.
Yeah.
That's next level.
That's like
Yes.
Star's favorite. She was talking about it the other day.
Beloved corn dog. I'm one of those. I'm one of those weirdos who likes the kind that's like batter fried with like the little cubes of potatoes, but then you roll that in the cinnamon sugar mixture. I like it.
You lost me. You lost me
Sweet,
there.
No, listen,
sweet hot dog.
I know
Mm.
You're going
they
to a place I cannot follow.
They offer they offer me sweetness, I will take it. I'm one of those people.
Wild.
I
Yes.
love you, Korean corn dog.
Right. Question from Rose Cabold. What did you do to my babies, Jay? Why is Har's eye missing? First of all, Rose is my wife. This is the Rose in question. My wife. And she has made a series of kobolds, which I have liberally taken from, that exist in the world, and so of course they were affected by the world, and of course they were a very easy scapegoat for the sort of story that Rathgrithr was in. I have done something very horrible to your babies. They are not doing well. Also, I literally hinted about One-Eyed Har in a campaign we did about 2 years ago. So,
Damn.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
and I'm surprised you don't know this about your husbands, but don't give him access to characters that you love. He will hurt them. It's his favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
He's trying to kill Zoe's
That song's old enough
dog.
now that we could just cover it and it'll just be like, you know.
Yeah, I ominously hint that Zoe's dog is going to be gone at some point.
Yeah,
I didn't say I was going to kill the dog.
you didn't need to.
Everyone's just assuming.
It's written on the wall, Cornman.
IDK is asking, I asked before how Jaycorn does the voices, but how do you, Thought Slime, do the voices?
I always end up with this voice for D&D characters. I always start off with something different, and they always eventually become this. I don't know why. I've had like 3 or 4 characters. I'm in another campaign now where I'm playing a goblin who is a cleric, and she ended up somehow with the same voice. I just can't not. I don't know if anyone is supposed to have like that received pronunciation. That's just where my throat goes.
Honestly, it also helps because it whatever feels easy to use long term, you should really try to settle in as a voice option. Really,
It was either that or Bobby Duke. Those are the two.
exactly.
Two I got.
Yep. Cinderworks is asking a question. This is a random, but what is everyone's favorite type of barbecue? Oh my god.
What do you mean type of barbecue? Like favorite dish?
Yeah, favorite barbecue dish. Yeah, which is difficult, honestly, because there's so many like deeply good ones. I think I have to go with sausage because I love sausage and sauerkraut.
I'm a ribs guy personally. Destroy rib rack.
I have a controversial answer.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Corn on the cob.
No,
Corn's
it's not
good.
controversial at all.
Oh, no one would.
controversial.
No. Sorry, it's not
Yeah.
controversial that it's good. Obviously, what's controversial is that I think it clears any meat that could be put on a barbecue.
Oh, interesting.
Easily.
I see. I mean, okay. All right. I mean, especially because where we live, there is so much corn. We grow up with a lot
we're
of
looking
corn
at one
here.
right now.
Oh, I should put up the corn dog. Mildred drew me a corn dog, and I fucking love it. I should put that up somewhere.
Yeah, you sent it to me twice, and you were like, "Have you seen this corn dog?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I'm gonna show it to you again."
I was so enamored with this corn dog, I forgot I already showed it to her immediately and sent it to her again because I saw it again while we were talking one day. Mildred, I was like, "That's right, Mildred made me the corn dog. I gotta show it to more people again."
Oh, look at the corn dog, and I'm like, "Yes, Jay, you've shown me the corn dog before." He's like, "Oh, well, you're seeing it again."
I swear. Fine. Vernon, Ron, you didn't say what type of barbecue you enjoy.
I don't really have a preference, if I'm being honest with you. I don't eat a lot of stuff off the grill. So,
I see.
yeah, unfortunately.
Here, I'm going to put the corn dog up on the screen.
I'm going to say
Because I need it.
burgers are just fine.
Burgers are great. Burgers are a solid food if you do them right on the barbecue. Even if you do them wrong on the barbecue. First of all,
Oh, yeah.
woe betide you. The corn dog is here. It is going to be rather large. Hold on a second.
Wondawog.
You will certainly not regret 7 corn dogs at once. There we go. The corn dog is going to sit at the foot of my chair. Woe betide those who mock corn dog. Okay. Question from some Ed. What are the circus performers going to be doing after the circus is over, since this is apparently their final act? Or is this going to be their true last, most final act? Honestly, that's a good question. I don't think that the actors here would know, although the circus, I mean, this is a fey circus. It likely does this on the regular, so it's probably just going to pull up stakes and move to another area. Find another interesting destabilized area of the material plane to burrow into and grab more people, as is their wont. They get things for this, right? Like, the whole point is that the Fae need their contracts to do stuff. It sustains them with like a type of magic, the same sort of magic that devils learned how to tap into as well, right? And so, yeah, they're probably just going to pull up stakes and go to another place and try to entrap more people. They're probably going to have less free stuff, considering how much it was taken advantage of this particular time. I think there was in total 4 free acts in this place, and I think you all did 3 of them, I believe, and you murdered one of them. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I did break that mirror, huh?
It inverted inwards on itself like a second dimension or some shit.
Yeah.
Like an alternate dimension. Black hole thing. There's already a second dimension we don't have to worry about. I'm very good at speaking English. I do it professionally. I'm a content creator. Different question!
Fire Drake McPhee, how could you have a Macho Man cameo without at least one Slim Jim reference?
I was trying to work it in.
It was.
Rest assured, I was.
Mhm.
It was on the tip of my tongue at every moment the Macho Man was present.
I'm gonna snap you like a Slim Jim, and then you just kick him.
So
we tried to get Scrawny James in here more properly, but you know.
The big problem is, of course, like the real Macho Man, there is a time and a place for snapping into a Slim Jim. And you cannot do it willy-nilly. You have to have the right moment to snap into a Slim Jim. And, more importantly, they don't exist in the Feywild yet. There is now a Macho Man loose in the Feywild.
He will
Feywild
introduce
Slim
the native
Jims?
population to to Slim Jims. Slim Jims and corn dogs, and it will irreversibly change the landscape of the Feywild forever.
It's troubling that you suggest this, because it does kind of present the idea that Macho Man Randy Savage was somehow producing Slim Jims from his body.
Well, now that he is in the Feywild, in a place steeped in pure magic, if he was not producing Slim Jims already, surely this Macho Man, as he would most assuredly become, would begin presenting Slim Jims out of thin air. A very specific use of create food and water, I imagine.
Create Slim Jim.
Create Slim Jim.
See, I thought he was just going to become a god and just be like, here, take of my body or something like that, you know?
Like a real weird version. Yeah.
That's honestly better than what I was picturing, was some sort of Slim Jim orifice from which it is produced.
Like the Spider-Man, like, you know,
does directly from the wrist. Just blah, Slim Jim.
Which honestly is more troubling to me than, like, were it where I think we all kind of assumed. Like,
when you say the word orifice. Yeah.
I don't want it from the hands. I can tell you I would prefer it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The hands are dirty. Hands are dirty, folks.
Yeah. People don't talk about that enough.
Question from Victor Dead Chrono Jail. It's easy to let it pass because she is so good at coping that she seems almost normal. But what is the actual mental state of Rathgrithr? I think we kind of answered this while we were playing, but if you want to, you can.
Rathgrithr is her head is on straight now. She is this whole adventure she has been kind of grappling with who she is, what she is meant to do, kind of trying to push away her traumatic memories and unable to reconcile this image of herself with her traumatic past. And now it's kind of being freed of the expectation that she is Penelope, has kind of clarified what she wants to do now and given her a sense of purpose that she hasn't had in a long time. So she is like not putting on an act. She is legitimately feeling better than she has like since the campaign started.
Very cool.
Not physically though, because she is full of hot dogs.
Yeah. But like
Lot of nitrates.
I love the idea that we really are just kind of winging. Like I have written stuff for Rathgrithr. That's why these prompts are happening. But they are just prompts. You could no and if you wanted to instead of yes and you have, I think, a couple of times. But like the idea that the dice have also been cooperative in telling this story has been so cool.
Well, like just the amount of crits, like failures and successes. It was just it's that type of moment. Brennan Lee Mulligan talks about rolling with what's the term he uses?
Shit. But I know exactly what you're talking about too, because I was just listening to him.
Roll for emphasis or something like
roll
that.
For
that,
emphasis,
like,
yeah.
Roll with emphasis, yeah. Where you for like a big swing, you roll like a bunch of d20 and pick the one that is farthest from 1 or 20 in either direction, or
yeah. Like if it's important, you roll more than one, and instead of it being advantage, you're literally picking the one that's farthest from 10. Because you want the biggest impact, right? Yeah.
And that's what that moment felt like. It was just one of those magic D&D moments where like the mechanics and the story are working in harmony so well.
Very much. Yeah. Oh, God. Amazing stuff. Before I continue, anybody on the chat want to follow up with that specifically? Because, oh man, I got to tell you, it's great to have those big arc moments. It really is. Especially so unexpectedly. I didn't think anything big was going to happen this episode specifically. So
I go into every episode expecting something big to happen. So
it is like there's a lot of trust, right? Because there are times when you will say something or I will say something, and we haven't really discussed it ahead of time, but like one of us picks up on what the other is doing, and it's just like, I don't want to step on your toes, but I know enough to like, well, here's how I know the character would react to this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And for the most part, I am like guessing based on what I know of your character and what I know of you. And whenever I don't guess correctly, you checking me with a no and is so it has always led to something cool. And I love it when players make big choices with their characters. I don't care what it is. Like, if you want to establish canon all of a sudden, go for it. I don't mind at all. I had a brand new player, and this is another reason why I like really new players specifically, but also veteran players who just know that they can mess with stuff like this. This guy came into one of my paid games, and he had never played before. And so I was introducing his character, and he just started, he was just like, so I just kind of described what I'm doing, and I'm like, yep. And so he started describing what he was doing. All of it. So including like straight past the parts where anybody who knows how to play D&D would like say, okay, so do I roll something here? Right? I say, you see this pillar? And he goes, okay, well, this pillar has this stuff on it. And I read it and it says this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, no, I was like, yes, perfect. Please do more of that. That's great stuff. And it's exactly the sort of thing that anybody but like a very veteran player would probably not think to do, right? And it is. It's all about either complete trust or complete faith that it'll just work out fine. That the person leading the game or the other players in the panoply will back you up or offer you an interesting avenue, regardless. And it was good, honestly, because I also really hate fighting in D&D. I think it takes for freaking ever, and the mechanics are real bad and boring half the time. So turning it into a storytelling mechanic, every time, if I can. Question, Jay, do you have a campaign Bible that you use to keep everything in order? Nope. It's all in my brain. Every single bit of it. I remember every single bit of every campaign that has happened in the last 12 years. I don't know why. Sometimes I can't remember what I had for breakfast, like 2 minutes after I'm done eating it. I remember everything.
Too
I
much
don't know
campaign
why.
notes.
I don't know why. I do have notes, but I don't use them so much. They're usually like foundation notes. Like I'll write it down so that I can, like, in the instances where I really do have too much going on in the moment, I can go back and go, okay, their name was Penelope, for instance, right? I wrote that down so I didn't forget it because I didn't come up with that. So it's not in my head about it. But like, I could tell you that way back in the train, the very first combat
Sorry, the
we
what?
had, the chew.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
The first combat we had was a very brief fight against, like, Toulouse, I think. And she wiped the floor with somebody, and I think she threw Rathgrithr off the train, if I recall. And I probably could remember the role itself if I really thought about it for a minute. And I don't know why my brain does this. I did 5 years of college, have 2 diplomas. I couldn't tell you what they're about, but I could tell you about those campaigns. Neurodivergent brains are weird. They're
It's
lovely
the
and weird.
things that
They're
you
strange.
care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do care very deeply about this stuff. Let's see here. Also, again, if any of you have anything to say, you can also, like, obviously cut in.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Jay.
Yeah.
Are we fighting the insane clown posse?
I didn't want to spoil it.
Because here's the thing.
Mhm.
thing, right?
Mhm.
2 clowns, and where are we? We're at a dark carnival. Like,
Carnival. I didn't want to spoil it, but I did get the Insane Clown Posse for the guests for the next episode. They
Hell
are
okay,
yeah.
playing D&D.
that's a little problematic at the moment, considering one of them just got busted for child pornography. But sure.
Oh no.
Well, see, I booked them before that, and there's like a contract involved. So
Mhm.
Just means we have to hit him real hard.
This is why you consult us on these things.
yeah, I
before
should
you
have,
invite
honestly.
guests. Yeah,
Especially because I wasn't really familiar with their work.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good.
It's really good, yeah.
Really good.
Fire Drake McPhee asks, can I pet the corn dog? Yes, everyone can pet the corn dog.
Mhm. Might want to wash your hands after. But, yeah.
It is buttery. It's a buttery corn dog. That's the problem. Question from IDK. Since the last time I asked this, Thought Slime wasn't there. Where or how did you get your first D20? That's right. You were the only one who weren't able to tell us because you weren't on the channel. You were busy doing one of your videos at the time. But we got asked a question. How did everybody find or procure their first D20? Do you remember yours?
Yeah, for my first D&D camp. It's not a particularly exciting story, I'm sorry to say. I bought a set of gaming dice themed after the character I was playing at the first time I played D&D, because no one likes the person, and if you are this person, no one will tell you this to your face, but I'm going to tell you because I care about you. No one likes the person that has to borrow dice from the big dice bag.
Right.
Especially not the person with the big dice bag. They've put a lot of time and effort into collecting all those dice. They don't want you fucking with them.
Right, yeah.
Getting all of the crits from them.
I believe our dear Ronald has to leave right now before we finish all these questions off. So, Ron, do you want to quickly tell us where you can be found before you have to leave?
Sure. So if you go onto the internet and you type into your browser, it's justalittlегuypod.com. You will find my podcast, which is called Just a Little Guy. It's all about monsters. I don't have an episode this month because, unfortunately, every single scheduling thing that I tried to do fell through. But there will be one at the end of next month, just before the next episode of What's Left of Us. And it may feature somebody that you've seen before, but maybe it won't, brother. Who knows? Who could say? And you can find me on Blue Sky. I'm Mega Ron on there. So
You resurrected Macho Man Randy Savage, you wild man.
I sure did. I was like, look, you're here all the time in our D&D games, so I just have to bring you back to life. And he was like, oh no, brother, I want to go and hang out with my family, bro. I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.
That's what happens when you resurrect somebody. They just leave.
Yeah, yeah,
They
they
have
leave.
things to do.
They say things that people would normally just, usually say. It's been a while since he's spoken, so
Well,
yeah.
he will resurrect eventually. You know why?
Because he dropped the elbow on Jesus Christ from the top rope.
No, because cream always rises from the dead.
Oh yes, that is true too.
Very much. Well, Ron, thank you very much. We're sorry you had to go a little early, but it's fine.
no,
We will
it's
see you a little
fine.
later, huh?
All right, yes, talk to you later, guys. Okay,
Everybody
bye.
wave goodbye to dear Ronald.
Bye.
All right.
I will. Just circling back to the dice discussion.
Oh, yeah.
I just remembered something, and I have to get this grievance off my chest. This will matter to literally no one but me. But you know how when there's like a 9 and a 6 on a D20, the 9 is underlined,
Yes.
so that you know what direction it's supposed to be facing. The first time I played D&D, I was playing with a guy. The DM was a real prick, and I could never remember if the line was supposed to be on top or on bottom. And he like roasted me over the coals for it. Like, why would the line be on top? That doesn't make any sense. And I said, well, I feel like it's an arbitrary decision either way. He's like, no, because it's like underlined. I'm like,
right.
What? Why? Well, like that doesn't. That's not intuitive. That's not more intuitive than it the other way. Like,
right. The first time I
whoever
saw
heard of the
that,
line
it was
being on top.
It was a dot instead of a line, and I had the same issue, right? Because I was like, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, now, yes, intuitively, I get it. It should be under the number, but like, it's not that intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with a dot could be considered like an asterisk or something, and that would be like,
yeah.
So I remember being just so mad that I was like, I don't think I spoke again that night, and then I just didn't come back the next session. I was like, fuck this. Fuck
yeah,
this
of
guy.
course. Yeah, that was infuriating. Remind me later, I have a fucking rant against bad DMs. I hate them. They suck forever. Anyways, I'll get into that in a minute. There is a question from both Sly Fox and my wife, Rose Cobold here, that kind of fit into each other well. So Sly Fox question is, will we get to know more about Penelope in the future? Penelope in the future. And Rose Cobold asks, will Rathgrithr be following her story threads instead of running from them from now on? So I think those two kind of mesh together pretty well.
Yes, is the answer as far as I can tell. I don't know if this was on camera, but Jay mentioned like now Rathgrithr has access to her living memories more easily. And so like, yeah, it's no longer something too like white hot for her to look at. Good. You know what I mean?
Honestly, and again, I think going back to what we said earlier about us kind of like riffing off of each other and not really knowing where it was going before, I think if you had just gone like, okay, well, the DM is obviously hooking me. He wants me to go in this direction. I should just say, hey, why don't we go towards this hill? Like, you had a couple of opportunities, like at Red Larch, you had an opportunity at Velasco, you had the opportunity when you were passing back towards the forest. Like, you were like, you could have, at any point, every time I brought it up, you could have been like, yeah, okay, like, the DM is pushing hard, I should do this. And like, no, that wasn't the point. The point was I wanted you to be able to make it matter when you decided to go there.
Well, the like, dude, as much as that kept coming up, and the fact that like she would always respond in that emotional way, like that's the arc, right? Like that's you don't just like have her decide arbitrarily, at breakfast. Actually, yeah, I will confront my trauma. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. No.
The characters move the plot.
Exactly. Yeah. I came into this session, because I don't know if anyone else does this, but like I like spend some time thinking through like my character's headspace and like where they're gonna be. And I was like practicing being like dour and snippy and like but it was in the fight, it was when the Macho Man hit her and did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That I was like, that would be exactly what she wanted in that moment, is like feel something. And as she was getting into it, and as it became this more tumultuous fight, it's like I can no longer justify the way she was
Being
feeling.
dour.
Like she would, you know.
And like cards on the table when I was sort of planning for roughly the same idea, right? So I knew in the zoo, the ballroom, you would have likely been dour that whole time. Maybe if you had been there, you might have had like a conversation with probably another grumpy. I had a couple of other grumpy characters that were sitting around. Like there was a big grumpy toad, and there was a bunch so there may have been a little bit of catharsis there, but I had assumed that whole episode you would have been dour. And the whole point was that I wanted you to have a moment where you could exercise that dourness into something else. And I think consistently that's been what I've done. So I've been trying to introduce something to your character to make them feel a way. And then I've tried to introduce something else to knock your character out of it in a way that you would take advantage of. And that's basically been my plan the whole time. I introduce something that sucks. I introduce something that might be able to leverage you out of it again if you want. And so far it's worked out great, and I am super happy with it.
Yeah, but see, this is like good DMing, right? And I hate to turn this into another "we're going to be nice to Jay" moment, because I know how much you hate it. But consistently, you talk about like yes ands and no ands, right? You're very good at setting up a situation where there is nothing but yes and.
Oh, okay.
Where no matter what, you're making a meaningful choice, right? But both choices represent building on what you've established,
Right.
which is what you should do, right? It's not just a situation where it's like, here's a story hook, you can go with it or you cannot. And if you don't, then nothing happens. You set up a situation where once you've made the choice and your character has done something meaningful to them and meaningful to the audience, there is a consequence one way or another, right?
Yes. Always.
And that is better. That's better storytelling, better DMing. Like it just is.
Yeah. There is definitely a trick to live storytelling. Like I really honestly don't write a whole lot. I have a lot of if this, then this going on in my head. Because I guarantee you folks, if you're trying to DM and you're really like, I need this to happen, in some cases that's a good thing. Like, hey guys, like I need this event will happen at some point in the game. That's fine. But if you're like, I need this character to do this thing, if you're not bringing that player in on this to like make it a story beat for the rest of the party as a partner between you and that other player, then it probably isn't going to happen. And it's a lot of DMs stumble into that. They'll try to like make some magic happen, and then either it won't happen and they'll feel a little bit like, oh, well, I guess they don't like my story. Or they'll try, it won't happen. They'll get frustrated and they'll make it happen anyway, and they'll override a player's agency. And then you just lose people. Like it's not their story anymore. It's your story and they're watching it. I don't
Absolutely.
I have opinions. I don't.
Well, that's why like I almost bristled when you described me as no ending, because I always saw it as like kind of this no, you've given me a binary choice and I've made one of the choices, because I think it's interesting either way, you know?
Yeah, well, I was using no and as I was pretty sure at some point I can't think of any instances right off the top of my head, but I have to imagine that you used your agency to do something I was not expecting at all, and I just can't remember which one it would be. I'm probably just maybe giving more allowance than I probably need to in my brain, but you know, like I because I also love the idea of no ending in certain circumstances too. I think it's also perfectly valid, being like someone offers a thing that is happening, and you go, no, that's not what's happening, but what is happening, I think, is this. Do you agree? And then someone can go, yes. Mostly it's in comedy scenarios where you try to like be that dead stop, right? But yeah, absolutely. Zach Oyama does a lot of that on Dimension 20 shows. He'll do like just a hard stop when everyone's expecting, and it'll get a huge laugh or a big moment, and it'll be nice. And speaking of big moments, Broskavolt's asking, what is everyone's favorite big moment in any D&D games that they had, or any other TTRPG games?
Ooh.
Big moments.
I mean, it's not from this campaign, but you know, like that whole like end of arc bit that from our Thursday game that is the whole reason I am making an hour-long animated fucking summary of that campaign. I don't know. I feel like that one was affecting.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good.
And this one probably Emery finally getting her sister back and doing all that. That was
big. That was nice.
That hit me in the dokies.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. No dogs on the moon.
No dogs on the moon. I think probably the finale of the Adventure Zone, the first season.
Yeah.
I always kind of go back to that as these people started playing as a fun game. It was very unscripted. They literally did what I do, which is they took a module and they warped it until it was unrecognizable, and then they kind of just kept going. And by the time they were ready to finish, it was such a beautiful story that nobody, like, they had us weeping over a character called Barry Blue Jeans. I don't know what else to say than that. Like, if you could make something legitimately silly have a legitimate feel moment, I think that's it. I think you did it. I don't know what else to do other than that.
It's also great when you, if you've since played The Lost Mines of Phandelver, which I have, and characters that went on to become important characters in the Adventure Zone show up, and they're nothing like they are in that,
Yeah.
You're just like, this is not my beautiful blue jeans. This is not my beautiful wife.
I love the idea that Barry Blue Jeans is in the actual text. Like, no, that's a Wizards of the Coast Ridge for sure.
That's a Wizards of the Coast original, absolutely. I do that all the time. I'll take key NPCs and just like yoink them in their mind now, and they absolutely warp to something different. I yoinked Vajra the Black Staff from the most recent Waterdeep Dragon heist. She's my character now. I love her. She's my beautiful autistic lady, and she will get into your heads and never leave. And I did it there was a dragon in the Rise of the Tyranny of Dragons saga, which is a notoriously bad module, but like we played through it at one point. I took a character from it, and he's mine now. He's my dragon. He's my dragon boy, and he is silly, and he's flying off to great adventures in the multiverse. And he likes to punch people while disguised as a halfling because he's a dragon, and he thinks that's funny. And that's just like, that's what you do when you're playing these long games. You start off with these little changes that are silly and off the cuff, and then if you play it long enough and you invest in these characters enough, anything can be poignant. And that is just, that's what storytelling is about.
It's also like, if you've not played a TTRPG, especially like a really long-term campaign, you have no idea how attached to these little fictional characters you get, right?
Oh, God. Star, do you want to talk very briefly about Mira? You're not even playing Mira.
She's not even my PC. But I love her so much. So in our Thursday campaign, anyone who's come to my live streams has probably heard me talk about these characters because I cannot shut up. But I also, yes, thank you, Sly in chat. Hey, hot boy, what that butt do? So I made my character Verity, and a crucial part of her backstory is that she had this group of friends that she was traveling around with, like that was her first party, and part of her backstory is that they are all dead. She gets knocked out in a fight, and when she wakes up, all her friends are dead. She blames herself. It's like a whole thing. But when we first started that campaign, I didn't really develop those characters much. I gave Jay like their names, their races, and what their classes were. It's like, okay, here's her list of her dead friends. Go crazy, go stupid. But now those characters have like kind of sort of started like come back, like their ghosts are kind of lingering around. We keep getting like little pieces of how they affected the narrative, like during the time that she was out. And I have now like fully fleshed out all of the dead friends into these like very meaningful characters, and I'm obsessed with them. And so we have Mira, the party's fighter, who's just the worst. She's just like, how do we even describe her? She's just like this loud, boisterous fighter who wants to befriend any like apex predator that she sees. She will wrestle it. She is not afraid to speak her mind, even at the worst opportunities. And she married the party's wizard, who's also an asshole, but in a completely different way. And so when I try to explain these characters to people, it's literally just stuck up half elf wizard loves his furry, obnoxious wife so much. And I'm obsessed with them.
Developing characters is so interesting because you start off with a cliche. Like, these people are the worst. They suck. I hate them. I need to hug them. Like, you go, this person is one of those people who is loud and just completely not into social niceties at all, and that is their whole character. And then you do another one where you're like, uptight wizard who is also not into social niceties, but for a different reason. And then you spend more time with them, and you get to go, why would a person be like that? And you go, this woman doesn't observe social niceties and she's uncouth and rough because she doesn't like to be constrained, and she has been. And that's its own story and how a person gets like that. And the wizard is uptight, but that's because he was held to elven standards his whole life and he couldn't possibly hit those. And so, like, you have these characters who immediately begin growing and becoming real, and it's just, there might not really exist magic in the world, but god damn it, if there does, that has to be it.
Stories are the closest we get to magic.
Yeah,
for sure. I think, like, if anyone is looking for like wants to feel that with your next character, really think through what their flaws are. That should be the place you start with. And I mean, that's generally good for like characters in general, right?
Yeah.
Like but for D&D in particular, for any TTRPG, you think it's going to be this thing where you are embodying a fantasy. And so you want to think about the things that make your character cool. But what is really going to move the needle is you think about, like, where does my character have room to grow? Because then when that moment happens, there is nothing like it.
Yeah, my god. There isn't, especially doing it when there are other people at the table that you trust who are fully invested in your story, who are helping you and making the story too. That's just, my god. I don't know. I'm enamored with the whole process, which is why I'm so pissed off about bad DMs.
And you circled back.
I finally circled back. I don't know. Do we have time for my little tiny bad DMs or shit rant?
Can I do something really
We got
fast
any quick questions left
before we disappear from that topic?
Yes, that is true. Yes, go
if
for
people
it.
want to hear more about me ranting about those characters, watch my video
Yes.
that's coming out mid-November, because I'm doing like sort of an art challenge, but I toned it down really significantly, where I draw like every single one of my original characters I've ever come up with, and I draw them all for a video. Part 1 is already out, but part 2, the one that comes out mid-November, will be the one where I talk about all my D&D characters, and that's going to be a longer video because I have so many thoughts.
Right.
What if we could right now force you to create an original character that would be really hard to draw, like Bicyclor, the bicycle man? He's made of bicycles.
Joke's on you. I'm more powerful. I can draw anything with a fucking reference. I'm not afraid.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, but would you draw Horsemaster?
Absolutely not. But that's
See?
not because Horsemaster
defeat-
would be difficult to draw. That's just because I hate Horsemaster. And I refuse to draw fan art. I'm gonna draw so many fucked up Rathgrithrs in my sketchbook after today. All right, I don't have time to draw a fucking horseman with human legs.
I don't know if I
He's
ever mentioned this, but
really
Rathgrithr
neat.
has horses for arms.
No.
That's also a perfectly valid centaur, incidentally.
No.
Half it's half horse, half other thing.
No.
Horse's 4 limbs is also half of a person.
What if we
Okay,
just right down
you
the
know
center?
what? Fuck it. Zoe said something earlier where it's like, next time we'll all have to share our bully to D&C stories. Fuck you, I'm taking this to the court because not only are you bullying me with Horsemaster, literally yesterday, you son of a bitch, literally yesterday in our fucking Thursday game. You want to tell them what you did?
I did. So our dear friend Star.
This is my bully. This is my Joker origin story. I swear to God.
It's so good. Our dear friend Star got into journaling. Not recently. Dear friend Star has been journaling like most of you all should. Incidentally, I will legitimately say you should probably journal because it is
I will
good for you.
begrudgingly say it is actually like the hippies are right. It's actually pretty nice.
It's like those people who tell you that you should probably like jog or exercise or something like that, and it will make you feel better, and they're right, and it sucks that they're right. It's like that. It's the same thing. Anyways,
Can confirm. Been exercising.
that's right. You hit a good milestone recently. Incidentally,
I've
congratulations.
had a few, man.
Yeah. So, Fran gets into journaling. Then she gets some other people into journaling. There is now a journaling channel in our Discord about journaling. Okay.
Stationary girlies rise up.
And there is like a whole, I didn't know this. I probably should have guessed, but there is a whole like stationery industry based around this of getting like these premium planners and the stickers and the gel pens and all that. Anyway, all that stuff. And it is legitimately the most charming thing I've ever seen. Every time there has been we've had this stationary channel for maybe half of a month. Maybe a little more. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks or so. Almost every single day of that, Star has busted in and said, guys, I bought something else.
It's not every day. You make it sound so much worse than it is.
But that's just being an artist, though. It's the same way that like you go to Michael's and you buy every pen because you're like, maybe I'm gonna need one of these pens. Like
very much.
And I don't appreciate being shamed for it.
It's fine. Yeah. She bought planners for what she needs, and she bought planners for her desk, and she bought planners for on the go, which is practical. And she bought planners for next year, which is close to next year, so by all means, more planners. And then she bought a planner that she didn't quite like, so she bought another planner that she thought she would like, but it ended up she didn't like so much. And then she had another planner that she thought she was going to like, so she put it up there and she said, maybe I should get that, but maybe I shouldn't get that. Anyways,
I see the problem.
Yes.
I see the problem. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can tell you what to do. Just real quick. You need to get a planner to plan out when to buy planners because it seems like you're going at that kind of randomly, and that's kind of maybe that's where you're
the first person to make that assumption. Continue the story, Dungeon Master.
So one day, Starla busts in, and she says, "I went to my friends for a wedding, and they were making fun of me, and I got caught up in the joke, and I pitched." Starla 2 planners. I am Starla 2 planners.
This was right after because I was talking about my planner issues. Is like I bought the smaller planner, but I don't know if I like it, so I feel like maybe I should buy the bigger planner. But it's a lot of money, and I don't know if I want it. And I was having this conversation on stream, and then one of my viewers mid-stream sends me the money for the bigger planner, and I'm like, oh, thank you, but you're enabling something, and I don't think you realize what you've done. And so.
Thus, Starla 2 planners was born, and very quickly became Starla 3 planner.
Technically, it was already Starla 3 planners.
It was technically already, but we'll go with that. Anyways, as soon as she busts in and she says Starla 2 planners, I was like, I'm writing that down. And we're on an arc where there's a bunch of pirates, and there's no better time than to introduce a very fastidious and very organized pirate named Starla 2 planners. Right now she's Starla 1 planner, but there's more in the mail, you see.
I made him change her name to Scarlet, or I was leaving the campaign.
Now, because this started about Horsemaster, and I'm very curious how these two thoughts intersect.
He's bullying me.
Well, to be fair, I don't bully you with Horsemaster. You are just mad at Horsemaster for some reason, and he is a sweet boy.
Because you keep using him in the campaign and drawing a lot of attention to Horsemaster.
He's a perfectly normal centaur.
You don't do this to any other NPC. It's just Horsemaster.
I wonder if there was perhaps a Horsemaster subplot that you didn't touch.
There wasn't. You're bluffing.
This is the classic. I have a character in a campaign I run called Dave the Bankster, who the party was just obsessed with because they're like, there's something up with this guy, which there wasn't. He was just a random NPC that they kept asking questions, so I had to
keep making up. And they asked him what his job was, and I said he was a bankster. And they said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "I go to the bank and they let me take over however much money I want." And to this day, they're just obsessed with figuring out what's with Dave the bankster. He's got to be up to something. No, he's just a guy.
He's just a guy. Yeah,
See,
right?
whatever the opposite of that is what Jay and I have going on with Horsemaster. I so want him to stop focusing on Horsemaster so fucking much, and he will not drop it.
Because one is because any interest in a character is good for driving interest. Listen, let me know.
It's a
I
marketable
have no
IP,
interest in
Horsemaster.
Horsemaster. You just keep repeatedly bringing him up.
What if Horsemaster has an interest in you?
I
Have you ever thought of that?
the most terrifying sentence you've ever said, quite frankly.
You're gonna get to the end boss, and it'll be Horsemaster stepping out from behind a throne, going, "It was always me."
Oh, good. That means I'll get to destroy him in game, eviscerate.
If a centaur has children with a human,
Mm-hmm.
the offspring is a quarter horse.
That's right. I'm thinking it's just a regular dude with like one of those rubber horse masks. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Or just hooves.
Or just hooves, which
Yeah.
is also fucked up in its own way. Yeah.
I'm imagining this Punnett square of like human and horse for the centaur, where like horse is the dominant gene and human is recessive.
Mm-hmm.
And so if two centaurs have kids, there's there usually be centaurs, but there is a chance of just a full horse or a full human.
Right. Right.
And I'm writing that down because that's quite funny,
that's an
actually.
idea. Yeah, that's an idea. We do have a final question, and it really should be a final question because we have finally reached 5 o'clock. Sam, part of my bio, did ask, Jay, what is the worst quality to DM? So I will do a very small rant.
And
bad,
starting
yeah.
the timer now.
Okay.
We just have to be very careful.
Yes. Would you be very careful too?
Go on.
Okay. So we
Not to interrupt you is what I was going to say.
Oh. Moo. Interrupting cow. I love it. So we talked a little bit today about how all of us kind of very deeply feel that storytelling is a very important and fundamental part of being a person. And forming community and forming bonds and exercising real feeling with another person, which I think is a fundamental and one of the more intimate things you can do with another person that is socially acceptable, I'll say. Regardless, I don't think there is a greater betrayal of somebody's trust in you as reaching out for connection, as being the sort of game runner who sees somebody putting out threads of a very heartfelt story of theirs and saying, "No, we're doing my thing." It feels wrong in a way that just makes me instantly mad. And I don't get angry very often. There are very few things that make me mad like that. And it's mostly because it feels like abuse. Right? It feels like a profound wrong is being done in that particular instance. And obviously I know that it's very kind of low stakes, but like philosophically speaking, were there no other great grand ills in the world, I think this sort of thing would be fairly high up on the list. Right?
It's also just its behavior, it doesn't stop there.
Yes, exactly.
It's
It is
the
a
same way
red
if someone
flag.
is mean to an animal, like even if they don't necessarily hurt it, the fact that they're mean to it, it's like something off here. Like I don't trust this person.
Yeah, you abuse your power elsewhere as well. Is the sort of thing. So yeah, if it comes out in a place where you are supposed to be playing with another person, like play is so fundamental to being a human being. If your version of play is no, we're here to service me and my needs, without being like generous to the other people around you, like there is always a spot for you and your needs, absolutely. But if you're overriding other people pretty consistently, if you're seeing them try to interact and connect and you're swatting that connection down, there's something else going on. You got to look at yourself because something's up. Like, yeah. And you can almost always point to like any bad story from any bad DM you ever see on like Reddit or anything like that. You can always be like, they're the same people. Like they all have that same root, you know?
It's also like, then why do it? Why play
Yeah.
this? You know, there's so many games you can play that don't involve telling a story. Like, why would you pick the one?
Write a book.
You know?
Yeah. Their writing career is not working out.
Yeah, exactly. They want somebody to help them write their particular story. Be like, yeah, but yeah, like if you're a game runner and you are not focusing your entire energy around making sure that everyone at the table has a chance to form this story, then you shouldn't be the game runner. That's all there is. Like that's the game runner's job in almost every TTRPG I have ever seen. Doesn't matter how stacked toward, and D&D is like very stacked towards the DM being the person who's driving a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on the DM's plate there. But even in smaller stuff, Kids on Bikes, Blaze in the Dark, you know, like there's much less emphasis on the DM. In Blaze in the Dark, DM doesn't even roll any dice. But like, even there, you're the driver of the story. The whole point is you giving the players, your part of the story is you giving players something to react to. If you don't respect those reactions, then what are you doing? So, yeah. That's my mini rant. Someone clip that. I think, unless you two have any questions, we should probably end it there. Because it's 5 after.
Well, I'm going to argue. I think it's good when DMs steamroll people. I think players shouldn't be allowed to do anything. And
in a weird turn of events, I've actually had my players tell me, it's like, you know, Star, you're allowed to railroad us a little bit if it makes things easier for you. I'm like, no, do what you want.
But like,
here's
even
what
that
I
is
will
different.
say.
Yeah.
Here's all the knowledge you need to be a DM. Once your characters start planning heists, you have given them too much freedom.
Yes.
Left to their own devices, D&D characters will inevitably form a heist for any scenario.
Right.
It is your job as the DM to prevent them from doing it.
Right, exactly. Complications. Yeah, like there are times where as a DM you have to take control and direct the story somewhere, right? Especially when the players are being directionless, like they don't really know where to go.
Maybe they just want to sit and eat hot dogs.
Maybe they just want to sit and eat hot dogs, right?
And 5 o'clock is coming along, and you're like, they need to be at the big top for the session to end.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I've gotta hurry things along a little bit here and there. But that's different, right? What you're doing is you're saying something is happening. Please look at it. And if your players still go, nah, like I could have left them at that table eating hot dogs at the end of this, at the end of the sequence. Could have done that. That's you got to just be okay with that, right? Someone who is grasping too hard onto the story, like I've seen quote unquote bad DMs who aren't doing that sort of thing on purpose. They're doing it because they're overwhelmed with everything they have to think of as a DM. And I'm telling you right now, you're thinking of too much. Just let go. It is not your story alone. Let your players decide things. You will be way happier. Anyway. Yeah. We should probably end.
Yeah, it's late. It's late.
I'm hungry.
Yep.
I might eat some hot dog, honestly. I have hot dogs at home. I might just boil them and eat them right out of the pot.
Very upsetting.
Drink that hot dog water.
I'll post pictures. Regardless, why don't we start by saying who we all are and where we come from, and then I will sign off with everything else we have. Star, would you like to tell us who you are and where you're from?
Sure. Hi, I'm Star. I am the Starfish Face on basically every platform these days. I am most active on Blue Sky because fuck Twitter. I have a webcomic, castoff-comic.com. The first volume will be coming out probably sometime within the next couple of months. We had a Kickstarter for it, but if you didn't get one through the Kickstarter, the books are en route and will probably be up on my store by the end of the year. I may or may not have spent most of the stream signing a big old pile of prints for it, so that's a thing. I'm also on YouTube. I make silly videos about silly topics, and they're usually art related. And I just had a video come out where I talked about a bunch of my original characters. And like I said, I will have another one coming out mid-November-ish, where I talk about a lot of my D&D characters, and that's going to be fun. If you are also interested in making a webcomic of your very own, I have a book that teaches you basically everything you need to know to learn how to do it. It's called How to Webcomic. It's on my online store, thestarfishface.com. And yeah, I'm basically everywhere on the internet. So if you just look up the Starfish Face on a platform, I'm probably there. So yippee.
Gotcha. Mildo, what's going on?
I am the Thought Slime. I make videos, you could call them, on YouTube at youtube.com/@thoughtslime. I recently, if you were at all moved by the discussion of storytelling as a form of magic, I recently did a video about that while analyzing the conservative dipshit cartoon Mr. Bertram, and the dissonance between those two ideas nearly tore me apart. Today, I released the video early for patrons. It'll be out next week for the rest of you, where I enter the gladiatorial arena with JJ McCullough and don't really disagree with him at all. Just kind of talk about a thing that use him as an excuse to talk, but shh, don't tell anybody. I also make horror videos at youtube.com/@scaredycats. And those are the things that I do. When I say horror videos, I mean videos about horror, not like my own horror. I don't do that.
Gotcha. We already heard about dear Ronathan and where he is from with Megaron. Zoe is out doing work today. She is at Zoe B. Look for her on the YouTubes, but that is just about it. She had a video come out recently, and she is about to put out another one. So please watch her space for more videos. And of course, our unseen friend here, Wild Jinx, who is editing all of our VODs and putting that up. Please go and find her stuff at the Wild Jinx. Wild Jinx specifically on YouTube and I believe on Twitch as well. And she should also be that on The Sky That Is Blue, which you should go and check that out. In addition to that, we have our two mods, Sly Fox and Pronouns My Bio. They're both creators in their own right, so please swing by and give them your attention at the very least, because believe me, you will not regret it. For myself, you have found my channel. Hello, welcome to the Jaycorn. We are a channel that is specifically dedicated to doing this particular show, but also hopefully some extra stuff in the future whenever I get my act together. It is very difficult for me to pull myself out of the many, many things I am doing to do other things, but I am being bullied as we speak to do some stuff. So we will attempt to do that. Thank you very much for the people who gifted memberships today. I know Jared was one. I believe the other one was Spubs. I have to double check that. I don't know where to find who gifted memberships is the problem.
You scroll back on chat real far.
That's great. I love that.
Yep.
That sounds great to me.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Wowie zowie. Let me go see where that is.
Here, Sly dropped it in chat just now.
It was Schlups. Oh, it was Schlups and MedMat. Ah, beautiful. Thank you, both of you. We also had a couple more people join the memberships on our coffee this month. So thank you so much. Honestly, doing things outside of the YouTube, Twitch environment is probably the best for making sure that we keep the lights on. Thanks to you folks, so we are officially able to make sure we can break even on this production, which is dope. I very much appreciate that. So thank you all so much. I think that's it. I think. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Our next episode it will be on November 29th. It'll actually be really close to the end of the month this time. So November 29th. Friday,
yeah,
November 29th.
The episode being this early in the month has really thrown off like my brain schedule.
It's like a whole week. Yeah.
It's like,
we are 1 day off from it being the 31st was almost on a Friday. Rough. Maybe next year, everybody. We'll see. And if that happens again, if the stars align, I'm absolutely gonna do a whole costume again. Not to be outdone by my last costume, which is sitting over there.
Well, Star, try to align next year.
I'm trying. It's just so hard to be straight.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, right.
All right, everybody. Oh yes, and also don't forget it is Sam. Pronouns My Bio. It's his birthday tomorrow. definitely go see his content. You should give him something. You birthday. Buy something nice. Anyways, thank you all, everybody, for watching. We will see you next month, and we hope you have a very good time in the meantime. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.